Thinking of going live, right? So y'all, oh my gosh, happy new year, y'all. Happy new year. Oh my gosh. I've been cleaning all day. All day. I might even make it like a New Year's Day, not like, kind of New Year's Day tradition where I clean, like I'm always cleaning, you know? Eric, be nice. But you guys, I'm thinking of going live. I'm like, maybe we should go live and do some skincare. What do you think? Go live and do some skincare. Okay? You bring all your skincare stuff and then we come outside. Okay? But there's a story going on right now, right? There's a story going on. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's De'Ara and Ken, okay? So allegedly, not even allegedly, De'Ara has filed a lawsuit against Ken, okay? So the girls are talking about on TikTok. I received a few TikToks, watched a little bit of TikToks. I even saw some videos on YouTube, right, about the lawsuit between De'Ara and Ken. Now, so far, hey, Fumi, what's up? So far, right, it's only De'Ara that is talking. Hey, Fallon, Happy New Year's, everybody. Fumi, Happy New Year's. We texted already, but Lacey, what's up, right? So I'm like, ooh. I want to come outside and talk about it. But my only thing is, oh yeah, Maverick is here, child. Ooh, Maverick. Hey, Precious, what's up? Rachel, Happy New Year, people. Happy New Year, y'all. Listen, you guys, there is a situation. There is a situation, okay? But I am trying to be a good girl in 2025. Mavi, hold on. I am trying to be a good girl in 2025. But it might be hard though, y'all, because I don't know how to lie. No, honestly, if I knew how to lie, I really think if I knew how to lie, man, I'd be so, I wouldn't say successful, but I definitely have way more. But I don't want to lie. So it is what it is. Because even if you do make it, you have to be proud of how you making it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just make it just to make it. Happy New Year. Okay. Okay, don't just make it just to say you made it. Like, you have to make it with integrity. But so far, this De'Ara and Ken situation is taking over. It is taking over. It's on TikTok. It's on YouTube. So De'Ara sued, De'Ara filed a lawsuit against Ken alleging that he stole money from their business account, which was DK4 LLC or DK Gang, whatever. That used to be the name of the channel, right? De'Ara and Ken. And then their followers were called DK Gang or something like that. Hey, Samantha, what's up? Okay, so she's alleging that he stole money, and that when they broke up, he agreed he was going to pay the money back. But then there's part of the lawsuit where she said that he told her once they broke up that he didn't want anything from her, right? Because I don't see things the way y'all see it. I just don't. So I'm like, it's the new year. Do I really want to trigger people? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, brain, shut up. Sometimes I got to tell my own brain to shut up. Okay? We're talking about De'Ara and Ken. But I'm like, so she said that when he was leaving, when Ken was leaving, Ken said he doesn't want anything from her. And I'm like, see, young man, you were being emotional and you were not being strategic. Okay? Because I do feel like it's kind of cute to be like, oh, I don't want nothing from you if I did it. Hey, Kevin, I missed you. Happy New Year, my love. It's kind of like you trying to be a little gangster, like, oh, I don't need nothing from you. If I built it once, I can do it again. Wumpty wump wump, right? So he said he didn't want anything from her. But I'm like, you said you didn't want nothing from her to go take money from the account? That makes no sense to me. It would have been better to say, hey, you know what? Here's how much I want in order to leave this relationship, right? That's number one. Now, De'Ara is alleging that when Ken got caught cheating, it impacted their relationship. It messed up the business. It messed up the brand. But I'm like, De'Ara, were you and Ken really in a relationship, though? I'm like, I feel like initially they were actually, yeah, I miss you guys. I feel like initially you and Ken were in a relationship. But I do feel like eventually they were no longer in a relationship. And they didn't want to let people know because that's how they made money. Right? Hey, Kate. Hey, Mark. What's up, Mark? I was like, Kate, who's Kate? I'm like, oh, that's Mark. Right? Right? Happy New Year, Mark. But my thing is, right? And happy Independence Day. Okay? Because my thing is this. Right? At some point, you and Ken were no longer in a relationship. and you did not want people cake. Got to? Okay. You and Ken were no longer in a relationship. So when Ken was quote unquote caught cheating, I think that you and Ken had an agreement that you were not in a relationship anymore. Now, was he supposed to get caught cheating on camera? Mark is cake, y'all. Kevin, Mark got locked out of his account. He got locked off the other account. Don't know how to get back in. So now this is a new account, right? But I'm like, yes, he was technically not supposed to be caught cheating because it's not good for the brand. But privately, were you two honestly in a relationship? Right? Because if you were no longer in a relationship and y'all was just creating content and you had to make people believe that you were both in a relationship, I think both of y'all trifling. And I do feel like when Ken was getting caught, I think Ken got upset because De'Ara did not come out and say, you know what, we're not in this. Like, we're not really together. Right? And I do believe that he did a lot to protect this girl. So I'm like, I want to see what Ken has to say. You know? And then I'm going to say this. But maybe I will come outside. I don't know. I'm debating if I should come outside. But I will also say this, right? One issue I have with people is Maverick. Let me talk a little bit. My gosh. One issue that I do have, right, is that when people have a couple share, not even a couple share, but when you work with your husband, you work with your wife, right? And then you guys blow up. And then you say things like, oh, but this money I made, it was only for me. There's one part where she talks about like she had separate jobs, you know, she would work for brands and she would make her own money because those contracts were just for her. Like she was getting paid. But I'm like, dear, I don't know if I agree with that because you didn't build by yourself. You didn't build by yourself. You were building with Ken. So if brands are seeking you out, it's because of what you and Ken have built together. So if you're sought after by brands, even if the contract has your name on it, whatever, but I still feel like he should get some of the money. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, I still feel like he should get some of the money. It's no different. Like today on social media, you have wives who are face of the content, but the husband is behind the scenes doing the editing, doing the cutting, doing the lighting, doing the recording, right? Now, these brands might not know this. I don't even think they need to know this, but if a brand is seeking you out, if your husband is like pretty much your entire production, right? If you're getting paid, you should give your husband something, right? You should give your husband something. You can't say, oh, well, that money's just for me. No, because you didn't build this by yourself, right? I had a situation like that recently, right, with another friend, and I had to tell her because I felt like friend was not trying to have integrity, right? And you know, me, that triggers me. Okay, it does trigger me because this is how I feel. If you haven't worked or you didn't work and then your husband was always paying the bills, right? Your husband was always paying the bills and then finally you get a job, right? And then you're like, oh, Marlene, my husband's acting funny, so now I don't know if I want to pay the bills. I'm like, what does that even mean, right? I'm sure there were moments where your husband didn't like your behind, right? I'm sure, hey, Miki, what's up? Child, what's happening in New Orleans is crazy. I was looking at LaToya Cantrell this morning. I was like, you see, she's probably up there with the police chief clapping her cheek somewhere because allegedly or accordingly, they should have had the real barricades up. Why weren't the barricades not up? Right? Because LaToya Cantrell will do everything but keep the city safe. Okay? No, she's a lot. But that thing is extremely triggering. So maybe like, I don't know, we'll talk about it later. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's extremely triggering. Because I'm like, they should have had the proper barricades up so he couldn't have driven through Canal Street like that. You understand? But when you're too busy clapping, getting your cheeks clapped by your police chief, right? This is what you have. Okay? These blue cities are a hot mess. They're a hot mess. Okay? New Orleans is not the same city. Like, no. It's like number 2 or number 1 murder capital in the city. Like, it's a hot mess. It really is a hot mess. But let me continue, right? But I do feel like if your husband plays a part in your content creation, right, he's entitled to some of the money that you're making. It is no different. Like when you have a husband who's a doctor, who's a lawyer, and he has a great career, yeah, he can't. So I'm not going to give it to my wife because I'm the one who went to school. I went to law school. I tried the cases. Like, yeah, you did all of that. But you can't discount the fact that you had a wife at home to take care of the kids. You had a wife at home who was cleaning so you could actually go and study. You had a wife at home who was paying the bills for you. Like you had, like having a plus one, it allows you freedom of mind to go do what you have to do to be successful. So you can then turn around and say, oh, well, all the money I made as a lawyer or all the money I made as a doctor, all that money belongs to me and she gets nothing. I don't agree with that. So let me go back to my friend's situation, right? And I told her I didn't like her mindset, right? Because I'm like, it seems to me that now that you're making some type of money, you're looking for reasons to not contribute to the household, right? So like, oh, but he didn't talk to me. Well, if that's the case, well, his attitude, so therefore I'm not going to pay the car insurance. I'm not going to pay the car notes, or I'm not going to pay this and that. And I'm like, friend, you're lacking integrity. And she ran for her life, right? Because people don't like to hear the truth. And one thing about me, I do believe that you have to be truthful and you have to fear God and you have to have integrity. And when it comes to matters of money, I believe that God is testing everybody. Okay? I believe that God is testing everybody. And by that, what do I mean by that, right? I mean, when you didn't have money for a season and then God gives you a job or God creates a financial opportunity and then you start being stingy all of a sudden, right? You're failing the test. You are failing the test. Because hold on, Maverick, hold on. Because whether you're happy or not, whether you like it or not, right? There have been moments where your husband didn't like your ass. There have been moments where your husband was not happy with you. Did he stop paying the rent? Did he come to you and say, well, you making me mad, or you made me mad yesterday, so where's half of the rent, right? So now that you have some type of money, you're trying to play stupid games because you don't really want to pay the note. You don't want to really pay the car insurance. So you're looking for reasons to get out of your obligation. And she was like, oh, but I don't really want to do 50-50. I said, friend, it's too late for that, right? Because if you marry somebody and you don't make it clear that you don't want to do 50-50, changing the rules of the game because now it's trendy on social media, that's hella crazy to me, right? Like, for example, right? If me and Kevin are married, and when me and Kevin marry, I say, oh, Kevin, like, I'll go 50-50, da-da-da-da. I never tell Kevin that I'm expecting Kevin one day to take care of all the bills, right? So that's how we started off. You can't just wake up one day because now it's trendy on social media and be like, oh, you know what, Kevin? I don't want to pay 50-50 no more because I don't want to do that. Why not? Right? And even if that is what you want, I think that you have to slowly ease your husband into it because going into the marriage, it was never expected for him to pay all of the bills. Right? Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? So I feel like now a lot of women want to switch up and say, oh, I don't want to do 50-50. I don't want to do this. He needs to pay all of that. I just pay the food. And I'm like, no, you're being dishonest. You are lacking integrity. Because you know damn well when you got with this person, you had no issues paying 50-50. But now, because it's a trendy thing on social media now, oh, I ain't going to do 50-50. I ain't going to do. Girl, your reality is not like everybody's reality. Some people do have to help out their husbands, right? It was not a problem until you got on social media. Hello? And like I said, for me, Marlene, honestly, I could see how 50-50 can be like a little extreme because it really is giving roommate. But you have to pay something, right? You can't say, I'm not going to pay anything at all. If that's the case, then you have to make sure that you marry somebody who has the ability to pay 100%. But if you know that your husband does not make enough where he could honestly pay 100%, why do you even have that expectations? Right? Because I'm like, if this man fails, you're going to have to pay. Hold on, Maverick. You're going to have to pay way more than 50-50. Let's also be honest. Right? Hey. Because if he says, I no longer want to be in this marriage, sis, you will have to pay 100%. Because I'm like, sometimes, I saw a video, you guys. I saw a video here on YouTube, right, where this lady said that she stopped. She is no longer going to be a therapist because she's like, no, these women don't listen. I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da, okay? They don't listen. And I think that sometimes when you're a woman, other women will seek you out because they want you to co-sign their thievery. They want you to co-sign their lack of integrity. They want you to co-sign their chicanery, their witchcraft. That ain't me, okay? I'm a child of God. So to me, it's like whether you're a man or a woman, what is right and what is wrong. I will never say to a man, oh yeah, you work so hard so your wife deserves nothing. No, we saw the same case with Nathan Wade. I'm like, no, Nathan, you owe your wife something because 26 years of being at home raising the kids, it allowed you to focus on your career. So how can you not give this woman any money? How's that okay? Right? And vice versa. if you're a woman today and you're on social media and your husband or your boyfriend, whatever, is part of your brand and he's helping you to make money and you make a lot of money, you owe him something. It's not all your money because he played a part in your success. Whether it's holding the camera, whether it's editing, whether it's like writing your captions, right? Because if he wasn't doing it, you would have had to pay somebody else to do it, right? If you don't want to give your man any kind of money, then he should not do any kind of work. But if he does work consistently to help you build your social media, he deserves something. It's not going to kill you. But I think a lot of women are extremely greedy. Me. No, you have to learn how to give, right? But if in the house, your husband says, okay, pay the car insurance, right? Pay the damn car insurance. Don't look for ways to avoid paying the car insurance. Pay the car insurance. Well, and I told him, would you rather pay the rent or would you rather pay the car insurance? Right? She's like, oh, he didn't tell me if he needed help. I'm like, how can he tell you? The bill, car insurance is a recurring bill. Why does the man need to say, oh, I need help? Like, y'all, sometimes I am so confused with people, right? If a bill, it's like the water bill. Oh, but he didn't tell me he needed help paying the water bill. Oh, he didn't tell me he needs help paying the power bill. Boo-boo. When you go and flush the toilet, do you not appreciate the fact that there's running water? When you go and take a bath, do you not appreciate the fact that there's running water? When you come into the house and you can just flip the switch and the power is on, do you not appreciate the fact that you have the power on? Hello? Right? Even if someone doesn't say, oh, can you please help me pay this bill? Do you not think that it would be a relief if you paid the bill for the person? You're using it. You use the water. You use the electricity. You use the gas, right? You drop the cars. So if you're also enjoying it, when you didn't have money, that's one thing. When you are not working, that is one thing. But it's like now that you're working, it seems to me that you're looking for reasons to not contribute whatsoever. Right? And I do think that's a form of domestic abuse. That's just me, though. I do. She ran for her life, though. I'm like, yeah, go run. You're going to be back. Right? Because y'all know me. I don't lie to people. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not ethical to me. You know? If you work with someone and y'all build, even if you become the Beyonce of the group, you should always say, you know what? You played a part in my success. So therefore, there you go. The brand could give you $20,000, right? But because this person is how you got your name out there, you could give the man 10%. Right? Hey, bag. You could give the man 20%. It's abuse to me, Mark. It really is. Because I'm like, let's say the rent is $2,000, right? And then the car insurance, whatever. Let's say like it's $300. Okay. Would you rather pay $2,000 or would you rather pay $300? Right? So I'm like, I would rather pay the $300 before I'm confronted with paying a whole $2,000. Make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. And I do think, hold on, and I do believe that when you are married, you do have to kind of prove yourself to be useful a little bit. Hey, Jen, what's up? Happy New Year, right? You know? But then it's like, but then people get mad, or people get like, oh, my husband cheated, or my husband is no longer into me, wumpty wump, okay? When he's more attracted to a woman that has her own money. That's why I've gotten to a point where like this whole cheating thing, you know, when I was younger, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he cheated. Okay. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I need to know why he cheated. I do. I really do. Why exactly did he cheat on your ass, right? You understand? But I'm like, you can't be mad tomorrow if your husband gets closer or he falls in love with a woman who's financially independent as opposed to you. Because now that you're making some type of money, it's like you're looking for ways to not even give this man $1. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I bought Chick-fil-A or I bought McDonald's. My girl, you can't be serious, right? You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious, right? If it's like me, for example, like, let's imagine, for example, like whether it's here or my other channels, right? That one of my YouTube videos goes viral, I make all kinds of money, and I'm like, oh, you know what? This is all my money. I worked hard, and I made this happen for myself. You know, is that even a serious thing to say, right? It's like, okay, yes, you did the editing. Yes, you built the channel, right? But Jimmy played a part. It might be indirectly, but he did play a part. You can't say, oh, all this money I made is all for me. That's not how life works. Right? Sir. You're too exuberant. Calm down. Okay? Right? It's Maverick. See, this is why I can't even go live. You're too loud, okay? This is the same way that I felt when it came to Mercy Gono. I'm like, Mercy really is the father of her daughter, right? His name is Nandi. So I'm like, you built this with Nandi. Like, the money you're making, like your YouTube channel, the oils, whatever, everything like that, right? You built this with Nandi. Even if you were the one who was editing, right? Okay. But did Nandi not hold the baby? Right? When you had to film videos, did he not take her to the park? Right? When you were buying new equipment, did he not help you to set it up? He really is going to talk about because of me, right? I'm like, make it make sense, right? When you had orders, was he not helping you to ship the orders? Hey, Val, right? Now you're sitting here acting like, oh, Nandi blocked the account. Nandi blocked the account. Wumpty wump. I knew she was full of it. I knew she was full of it. I knew she was full of it. And then the girls are, oh, Marlene, oh, Marlon, shut up. Shut up. Because I watched her content, and every time she hit a milestone, you could see how excited he was for her. I'm like, this man woke up out of the blue, and he just blocked the PayPal account for no reason. Hey, LJ, he just woke up out the blue, and he just went and blocked the PayPal account for no reason. Right? Get out of here with that. Right? But then you fast forward, and you know me, one thing I love is that God always proves me right. You fast forward, one day her and Gerard are out here arguing. They're out here fighting. He's gonna have some podcast. They're out here fighting, and then she's confessing that no, Gerard said that's why you lied on Nandi. She said no, but you told me to do it. I'm like, what? Okay, but I knew it, and I was like, I see why he blocked the PayPal account. Because when you study her story with Gerard, it's like his house was in foreclosure or something, and what's her name? Mercy went and got like $175,000 loan or something crazy to get Gerard's house out of foreclosure. So I'm like, okay, so most likely you were taking money out of the business account and spending money on Gerard. Like, you were his trick. He was taking advantage. So if Nandi sees that money is going out the account, I see why he blocked the account. Because how is that fair? He was here with you, building with you, holding the lights, holding the baby, doing everything in his power for your YouTube channel to blow up. Okay? Now that the YouTube channel is blown up, another man's going to come and another man's going to reap where he hasn't sown. You people are loco. Like, you people are crazy. You are really, really crazy. You are seriously crazy. Right? And eventually their relationship fell apart and it really affected her channel. But I'm like, that's what happens when you don't move with integrity. You have to do things the right way. And you have to give people credit. Like, that's the way I feel. You have to give people credit. If somebody played a part in your success, you have to say it. You can't sit here and say, oh, I'm self-made. Nobody is self-made. Everybody's had help from somebody. If you have children, if you have a child or you have children and you're able to post content every day, all the time, it means that there's somebody helping you with your children. Because how are you doing this by yourself? Right? There's somebody helping you with the kids. And that's why you can focus on making content every day, back to back to back to back. Because when you have children, you can't just sit here, record content, edit content, post on all social media platforms, answer all these questions and comments. No, you have help. And if that person was not there, you would have had to pay somebody, or you would not be posting as much content. So you owe the person something. You owe them something. Right? So I'm like, to me, when it comes to this whole Youre cake, she was like, yeah, I mean, I'll probably will come outside. I don't know, maybe not today, but maybe if I come do some skincare, because, I gotta work on my skin. But my thing is, though, right? The way, because I don't know, I need to hear his side, because I'm like, I'm no longer rushing, because social media, when a woman comes out and says a thing, oh yeah, she's right, oh, she's absolutely right, because on social media, I've come to realize that the majority of women on social media are a bunch of sociopaths. The majority of women on social media, the men they claim they hate or they can't stand, these girls act just like those people. Okay? A lot of girls on social media are a bunch of bullies. And they're looking for men to be like mostly doormats. So when a girl says anything, oh, she's right, oh, she's right, it's like, no. Because in her lawsuit, she was saying that, oh, she was creating more content than Ken. She was putting out more videos than him. And I'm like, okay, Youre, were you putting out more videos the entire relationship? or towards the end, you are creating more content? Because we need to know. Okay? We need to know. Because let's say the channel is like 6 years old, the channel is like 7 years old, right? Okay, across the 7 years, can you say that you put in just as much work as Ken did into the channel? Were you like always creating content? Were you always doing this? Were you always doing that? Right? Because for me, as far as I remember, and that's a long time ago, the way her and Ken went viral, if I'm not mistaken, it's some prank. They did some kind of prank where he's pretending to cut her hair, and it was posted on the Shade Room, right? And then from there, they had lots of followers from the prank. But I always felt, though, Ken was like the business person, right? I've always felt like it was Ken's idea for them to be like, because when I guess from what I heard from their lawsuit, she had a following before, but it wasn't big. It wasn't big. And my thing is, like, for as much as these girls claim to be so girly, wumpy, wump, a girl always needs a boyfriend for these girls to actually care. Because the majority of these girls are male-centered. They are male-centered, right? And this is why couples channel usually grows so much faster. Because when there is a man, when you have a man, whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's a husband, right? These girls see more value in you. I don't care what anybody says, right? I don't care what anybody says. Because a man is like an ornament, okay? When these girls realize that you have a man, especially if it's the man that they want, that they're attracted to, these girls will start now looking more at your content because they all want to be in relationships. They all want to be with a man. Do not trust these people. Don't listen to people, okay? Like me, I think if I had my husband in my content like years ago, I probably would have had more views. I said no. Because you recognize. And also, sometimes, Maverick, hold on. I would even argue that if you're black and your husband is white, you can even have way more, you'll probably even have way more views, right? Like, for example, like, look at Nikki Thought, right? Look at Nikki and Jamie, for example, right? Nikki and Jamie Perkins. Well, she's not a Perkins anymore, but back then it was Jamie and Nikki Perkins, right? You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, even though Nikki became the breakthrough star of the show, Nikki does not create content. She doesn't have the work ethic. And I think it shows to this day. I mean, no offense, but if she's offended, that's fine. I don't care. Right? Not to be offensive, but we can be honest. Nikki is not consistent with making content. What does she do all day? Right? But this girl can go a month, 2 months, 3 months without posting content. Right? Because she does not have the work ethic. She doesn't have the work ethic. Right? But she became the breakout star because she's a woman. Right? The majority of content consumers are women. The majority of people who consume relationship content are women. The majority of people who consume the family content, married content, right? It's women. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that. Because you only know towards the end. And that's my problem with people. Like, people only want to judge you, like, based on, like, Maverick, you make it hard for me to work. You do. Okay? Yes, boo. You do. Maybe he stopped posting content because it was some BS. Absolutely. Maybe he stopped because it was some BS. Because is it really fair? Right? Because if you put your all into it, when it's all said and done, right? A man, you're going to lose. Hey, Shishi, what's up, my love, right? Yeah. Because the majority of the time, even with LaToya, right? Even with LaToya, if Adam had adapted LaToya's behavior, the way they would have destroyed Adam, like, it would have been crazy, right? But you look at LaToya's behavior. You look at the way LaToya's mom used to talk about Adam. My Lord. If it doesn't matter if he has a new girlfriend, he has the right to have a new girlfriend. De'Ara's girlfriend is her stylist girlfriend. De'Ara's out here creeping with her hairstylist girlfriend. De'Ara texted the girl who does her hair. De'Ara sent a message to the girl saying, "Oh, is it okay if I sleep with your girlfriend?" You see, but that's the problem. Because when you automatically have hatred or dislike towards men, because a lot of y'all lesbians, but when you naturally have hatred towards men, right? As soon as you see, oh, he has a new girlfriend, you're already on your guard. Because to question the woman or to look at her behavior, that's always a no-no. Right? You didn't know that, Nine? She texted. You can look it up. It's all over YouTube. Because her stylist was crying all over social media. Like, how can you do this to me? girl, and she says to the girl, is it okay if I sleep with your girlfriend? Can you give your girlfriend a pass to sleep with me? Hello? What the hell? What the hell? But nobody talks about that because she is a woman and she's a black woman. So they're going to cover her for that. But if Ken is outside, quote unquote, cheating, why don't you come out and say, you know what? Ken and I were no longer in a relationship. He is not cheating. Because my thing is, how do you go from being straight and then you break up with your boyfriend, you're already a lesbian? When exactly did this transition happen? Is it normal? You were with Ken, like you were 14, 15, 16, you were with Ken. You were with this boy for like 10 years. You break up and you're all of a sudden you're a lesbian? Like really? You were seeing other people. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Like you see yourself, you break up with a man. You've been heterosexual for like 10 years, maybe your whole life. As soon as you break up with Ken, you are so heartbroken that you felt like you gotta go do carpet munching. Like we're not doing this. We are not doing this. I mean, I cannot stand when people are so dishonest. People are so dishonest. If a man was dating a woman for 10 years, as soon as he breaks up with her and he becomes gay, are you not gonna say, okay, when exactly did you know you were gay? When exactly did you realize you were gay? Because how can you be in a hetero relationship, you break up, and then the next day you gay? Like, make it make sense. So you were always gay, right? So, hey, Janet, so my point is, when people are saying that Ken is cheating and he's taking a hit for quote-unquote cheating on you, you should have enough decency to say, no, we're no longer together. Actually, I like girls. No, okay, cool, right? But you sitting here, you're not saying anything. Ken was getting dragged left and right. I'm like, these two are no longer together because you can see it in their video. You can see it in their body language. But she didn't want to say anything. And I'm sure she also made him not say anything because that's how they made money, by people believing in their relationship. Just like even here on YouTube, I will not put it past some people to have babies just for content. There are a lot of black girls, black women I see on this platform. I'm like, you're mentally ill. You're having these babies because the more pregnant you get, the more babies you have, the more views you have. Like this is sick. This is really sick. Like being pregnant for content, having babies for content, like stacking up babies back to back to back for content, making your oldest child or your oldest children become mothers, like they're grown up. You're turning these little teenagers into baby moms. For what? For what? Because you're greedy. You are greedy. And we need to address the greed of a lot of women. We need to address the greed. Because what kind of woman that has integrity? Oh, Ken's a cheater, no problem. But what kind of woman that has integrity is going to email or a text message her stylist and say, oh, is it okay if I sleep with your girlfriend? Like, what the freak? Who does that? Like, seriously, who does that? Or like, even if it was a man. What? And my thing is like, how long was this young lady doing your hair? Because most likely she's a fan. Most likely she looks up to you. Most likely she likes you. Maybe she even had a girlfriend. Like, oh no, that's Tierra. She cool people. I love her. Wumpty wump wump wump. Then you text this girl this kind of message. Like, can you imagine if you had to receive this message on your phone? Is it okay if I sleep with your person? Girl, what? Ain't you rich enough? Don't you have enough followers? Do your own thing. Find your own person. Sorry, Maverick. Okay, find your own person. But it's like, I've come to notice that when it comes to some people, yeah. And I think her over there, I think she's having babies for content. I don't care what nobody says. Because even her husband, Antoine, when you look at him, you can tell that he's exhausted. Auntie Bag says, hi, Myvie, right? You can tell that her husband is exhausted. He is tired. Antoine is exhausted. And my thing is, you know that your husband has a substance abuse problem. You know that your husband used to be an alcoholic, right? Is it really healthy? Is it okay to keep stacking babies on a person, right? Is it okay to keep stacking babies on a person that you know is an alcoholic? Because children are extremely stressful. Children are extremely stressful. It's not just a matter of getting pregnant and having a baby, which is cute, right? But you also have to raise these people. And it's exhausting. It truly is exhausting. I mean, Antoine is tired. But at the same time, he's tired, but he doesn't want to pull out. Because I do feel like he does not want to get a regular job. He has seen the way he can make money off of this. And he does not want to get a regular job. Nor does she want to get a regular job. Right? So her thing is, oh, we're this Christian family. We don't believe in pulling out. you don't believe in this, and that. But I'm like, shit. Oh, that when I was a kid, God told me I would have 12 children. I said, what in the 12 tribe of Israel is going on? Like, you are insane. You are truly insane. But she's not the only one. There's another black girl, too. She's married to some Asian dude. I don't know if he's Korean, whatever. She's bald-headed. She has a PhD. Right? I think she also has a mental illness. Like, recently, she even had a heart attack. She even had a heart attack recently. Are you surprised? You think raising 12 kids... First of all, you got to carry 12 kids. Then you have to raise 12 kids. Like, you don't even sleep. You don't even sleep. Like, the lack of sleep is related to strokes and heart attacks. It is not healthy. It is not healthy. The girl had a heart attack. She's so young. She already had a heart attack. I'm like, it's so stressful. You know, and her husband, they're fighting. It seems like at one point he was completely gone because there's too many damn kids. It's too many kids. I saw the oldest, she went to college. I was so happy for her. I'm like, wow, she's going to finally have her own life. You know, not having to help her mama with all these kids. It is too many damn kids. Like, it's too many kids. Right? I think her and the Korean man, at some point, they fell out because I can see why. You know? Because maybe he's tired. But a house with 12 kids, a house with 13 kids, you guys, is there, like, do you ever even have peace in the house? Even for you and your husband. Because there's always somebody. There's always some baby. Imagine having to make dinner for 12, 14 people. Every day, you have to feed 12 people. Two times a day. 3 times a day. You got to feed 12 people. 12 people. Like, who wants that? Okay? You go to the grocery store. You have to shop for 14 people. 14 people. You guys, that is crazy. When I tell, even me, like, I'm not trying to be mean. I love Maverick, but I'm going to tell you this. It was an adjustment because in the beginning, I did have some dark ideas. I'm like, oh, Lord, no. But postpartum is real because you're so tired. Mavi, come here. You're so loud. Huh? Say hi to your aunties and aunties. Say hi. They've missed you. Yeah, you're so loud. Okay? You understand? It's toddlers. It's children. It's teenagers. Like, it's nonstop. Y'all don't judge my bed, please, huh? Okay? James wants me to get rid of the bed, but I don't want to get rid of the bed. Because come to find out, even this whole lawsuit that she raised on the boy, I think also because De'Ara owes money to the IRS. Right? De'Ara owes money to the IRS. Because, you know, this influencer lifestyle, if you're not careful, you're going to waste a lot of money. Because I think De'Ara, like a lot of girls who are into lifestyle content, luxury content, they burn through money. They burn through money. I'm going to get ready to come outside. But when you read the lawsuit, when they were actually reading the lawsuit, it seems like in their personal banking account, they only had $500,000. And honestly, Marlene, I think the money is low. Sir. Okay? I think the money is low. Now, do I have $500,000 in my account? No, I don't. I sure don't. But my point is, I've never had a channel as big as De'Ara and Ken. I never did. Like De'Ara and Ken, it used to be a point every time they would put a video on YouTube, they were getting 1 million views per video. Like, it was clockwork. And you know, long form, it pays way different than short form content. So I'm like, for them to only have $500,000 in their account, it means that Ken and De'Ara, they were fiscally irresponsible. They were irresponsible. Cause I'm like, why do you owe money to the IRS? Right? Y'all make too much money. Yeah, it's crazy. I think people are being radicalized. Cause the guy who did it in New Orleans and the guy who did it in Vegas, right? They train at the same Air Force. They train at the same base. So that's not random. You guys, I think they're doing something to people through Discord. I think they're meeting people on Discord, people who are disgruntled, people who are tired, people who have a certain background, right? I don't know what they do to them people, but I feel like they're brainwashing these people. Then they get these people to show up at some kind of camp. They train them there for a few months, and then they release them out in the public. There's some weird operation going, right? But I'm like, wow, like they were just burning through cash, right? And I know that sometimes y'all laugh at me like, oh, Marlene, you don't throw anything away. But I've come to recognize, you guys, part of American culture is that you're always supposed to buy something new. Buy something new. Buy something new. Buy. You make more money, buy something new. You make more money, buy a new car. Buy this, buy. I'm like, people are like, it really is an American thing, right? And I'm like, you have to be very, very careful. You see this bed? Let me show you the bed, right? You see this bed? You see this, right? You see the part right here that's missing, right? So this bed, we bought this bed in New Orleans. I think it's a beautiful bed. Here it is, right? I think it's a beautiful bed. James has been trying to get rid of the bed, but I'm like, it's heavy wood. I'm like, no, we don't have to do that, because all we need, you just need to find somebody who can do this part, right? Because if we redo this part, there's really nothing wrong with the bed, right? But I'm like, hold on, Maverick. One thing I have learned about the American way is, like, on the name, for the sake of aesthetic, people will just throw everything away. Like, just throw everything away. I told y'all, even like the beauty jars, the plastic beauty jars, I don't throw them away. I'll save them. Because I'm like, one day I might make some creams. I don't know. I might want to give somebody something. So I just save them. I wash them and I keep them. Right? This bed, I think the bed is amazing. I just feel like it's this part right here. This part we got to find the right fabric. And you can reupholster this part. Now, the color here, I think I told us, like, one day when we have time, we can sand this down and change the color of the bed. Like a nudish, like some kind of like nudish color-ish, right? Because I have seen some people on Facebook, like here, I saw that even more during COVID. It's like a lot of people will buy stuff from Facebook Marketplace. Like they'll buy dressers. Like people just throw stuff away. They throw stuff away. People go on Facebook Marketplace, they'll buy these old beds, these old dressers, they bring them to their house, and they sand them, and like, it's a whole new piece. There's this one black girl, she'll buy stuff for like $100, $200. By the time she's done with the piece, she'll sell it back for like $2,000, right? Because the problem is, I've come to realize this, the problem is, we don't want to make the time to learn something new. Oh, you have a cosmetic issue. Just throw it away and buy something new. Why? Right? If you make I haven't had time yet because I'm always doing something. But if you take the time, you can learn to do something new. Even your old furniture, you think it's old. No, it just needs to be like modernized. It just needs to be updated. But I've seen a lot of people buy like furniture that people are just throwing away or selling for like $25 on freaking Facebook Marketplace, and the people completely refurbish it. I'm like, wow, that's the same piece, because you gotta have the vision, right? But when you're lazy sometimes, like, oh no, I gotta go buy something new. No, learn something new. Watch the videos. Go to Home Depot. Learn how to sand stuff. I'm gonna, one day I probably will record it, but I'm gonna sand the whole thing, like, because I have this and I have like 2 other dressers. The day when he's probably older, I'm going to make it my business to like re-sand the whole thing, find a way, because I don't know how to fix this part. Find like some nice fabric and like fix, because it's just this part, because the material comes off. Otherwise, it's a great unit. Like, it's a beautiful bed. It's really, the wood is heavy, look. Because today, the furniture I see today, it's not giving high quality. I'm not going to be funny, but yeah, it really is a lot better, But like, they always want you to throw something away, or they always want, oh, go buy a new car. Why don't you stick with the same car, right? And so, like, when you see, like, when I saw the whole Youre and Ken situation, like, you see, here we go. These two, my personal belief is that Youre and Ken should have had way more money in the bank, right? Because even for Ken, let's even assume that she's right and he stole $100,000, right? My thing is, Ken, why did you even have to steal the money? Because Youre and Ken were not making any sound investment. I don't think you should, Lacey, I don't think you should throw it away. Because what happens if tomorrow you buy a bigger house and then you need an extra bed? You gonna go and buy a whole new bed, but you gave your bed away? I'm like, no, that's not my mindset. Like, I don't throw anything away. Even my TV. She was like, oh, Marlene, let's throw away the TV. Because one day we woke up and there's like a line that came through the TV. So he was telling me to throw it away. I'm like, well, I'm gonna throw away the whole TV because I don't know, you guys, that's just me. I don't throw anything away like that. It takes a lot for me to depart with things. And maybe that's why one day I will be a millionaire and I'm going to stay a millionaire, because it has to make a lot of sense to me, right? Like, even recently, James was like, oh, he wants to get, like, he keeps talking about, oh, a new car. And I was like, Jimmy, you need to actually count how many miles you drive a week. Because you guys, we don't go anywhere. Like me, I can stay in the house for like 2 weeks. Okay? Even like we have a mailbox. I don't even go to that place. James goes outside. Like I can really stay in the house for like 2 weeks at a time. There's nothing out there for me. And plus, I feel like when you go outside, you're bound to spend over 100. So I just like to stay inside the house, right? But I'm like, before you decide to buy a car, you really have to ask yourself, like, how many miles do I actually drive a week? Right? Because a car, it's a car note. It's the car insurance. It's the tax. And here in Virginia, they also have a luxury car insurance, right? So if you buy a luxury car, you pay extra tax on that because you have, I guess that they think you have money, right? But I'm like, for a lot of people, a thing like a car is consuming so much of your disposable income. I understand why some people are getting rid of the cars. Like, I don't need a car. I'll just Uber. Okay? Because always like throwing stuff away. Oh, well, I gotta buy this new. Sometimes you really have to ask yourself, like, do I truly need this? Could I do something else with my money? Right? But when you are quote unquote a lifestyle influencer, people always expect you to wear the latest, only wear an outfit once, only wear this, and that, and this is how you're gonna be broke. You know, I was sitting here, I was watching Pop the Balloon, and I was like, I've watched a few episodes today. Jimmy was there too. But I'm like, one thing about Pop the Balloon, it really shows black people's psychology. And this is why if black people don't change, we're in trouble though. We are seriously in trouble. The fact that people will disqualify someone because of their shoes, because of their outfit, your clothes, your pants, your heels, your boots. I'm like, black people sometimes can be so embarrassing. I'm not trying to be funny, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're going to disqualify a whole person because on this day, they didn't wear the right shoes. Are you serious? Right? You're going to disqualify a whole person because instead of wearing whatever type of shoes, she wore kitten heels. Like, seriously? Right? How about you actually get to know the person? Everybody can change their fashion, their sense of style. And maybe that's why he had to meet you or she had to meet you so they can level up. But I'm like, it's so crazy to me how black people are so focused on somebody's outfit, somebody's shoes. I'm like, are you looking for love or are you looking for a stylist? Right? You understand? Are you looking for love? You looking for a style? I mean, I don't care. I might not like the outfit, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to disqualify somebody, or I'm not going to pop the balloon because, oh, well, ooh, you wore kitten heels. Like, okay. Does that replace what's in her head? You're not even going to ask her how much money she makes a year. So if you, like, come to find out, this girl probably makes like $150,000, right? With like 700 credit score, no student loan. You're not even going to ask those questions? Oh, she wore kitten heels. Really, though? How shallow. This is just so shallow to me, right? But I'm like, it's black people. Always so focused on your clothes, your outfits, your car, your clothes, your outfits, your car. And this is why a lot of our people, especially our young people like Youre and Ken, right, did not get to save a lot of their money. Because to me, Ken should have had way more investments. Ken should have had his money in real estate. Ken should have had some money in the stock market. Ken should have had money here, and Ken should have had money there. You know? Because to me, honestly, let me tell you this, right? I have my issues. Hold on, Maverick. I have my issues with Ken, and I have my issues with Youre. But ultimately, you know, I'm 40, so I'm a lot older, okay? So there's still my babies. Like, you know, I love Youre, I love Ken. They're my babies, right? But I just have to be. I have to be Wendy Williams. I gotta be honest, right? You understand? I do hope they resolve it. I do hope they resolve it amicably. But I think it shows a big problem that we have in the black community, especially when it comes to when you're the first in your family to make money that nobody's ever made. You don't have enough people giving you good advice. And on top of that, I do believe that sometimes because people don't want to get cut off, nobody's telling you you're doing too much with the money. Right? So everybody's being fake because everybody wants to have access to you. But somebody has to talk to these young people. Right? Because a lot of investments could have been made. But instead, people buying shoes, buying clothes. Because I remember years ago, I used to watch that content. And every time, shopping. Right? And I know for a fact, not that I have seen it, but I know for a fact that a lot of women out here who are doing this black girl luxury content, I know that a lot of them are irresponsible with their money. And I know that a lot of them don't have enough money. And I know that a lot of them, they live waiting for sponsorship or AdSense money because they're spending way more than they're making. Because when I look at their videos, I look at their views, I'm like, how exactly are you doing this? If it's not a man or some sponsor somewhere, you're probably using credit cards. You're probably using debt, right? We have to stop doing this. It's okay if people see you wear the same outfit 3 times. They're going to be just fine. Okay? If they want you to change your outfit, they're more than welcome to send you free clothes in your P.O. box. Right? When it comes to these bags, buying designer bags, me, honestly, I think designer bags I think they're a waste of money. I really do. Because sometimes, like, buying a Birkin. I'm like, girl, you could have put a deposit on a house, right? You could have took that $20,000 and invested it in, like, Nvidia stocks, okay? You could take that 20 grand and put that into AI, right? Like, one day, Jimmy and I were talking about this, and it's like, yo, I feel like, quote unquote, white people create this whole luxury thing just so they can scam black people out of their purpose. It's giving Jacob and Esau, okay? It's a scam. You walk off with the bag, the man gets some cash. So he gonna take the money and put in the stock market. Right? And a lot of these people out here with the Birkin bags, you don't even come from a wealthy family. So I know that your family didn't have money like that. Okay? You want to give yourself like a vibe, or you want people to believe that you're on this level, whatever, girl. Stop trying to prove things to people. You're insecure. Yeah. You understand? I'm like, to me, these bags are just people throwing money out the window. They're just you're just throwing money out the window. It is better for you to invest in real estate. It is better for you to even hire an editor. I see a girl, her content is dry. I'm like, girl, your content is so dry. Your editing is dry. But you rather go buy a Birkin. Why don't you hire an editor? Like, think about that. He said, working, okay? Think about that for a second. What would happen is, instead of buying a $20,000, $30,000 bag, right? You took the money and you hired an editor, right? Like, because obviously you don't like to edit. But I'm like, your videos will be so much better. You will get more views. You'll be able to be more consistent, right? Is it not better to actually invest in your YouTube channel and take your content to the next level, right? But I'm like, you really, in this life, to me, that's just me, Marlene, you really cannot be successful if you're always concerned about impressing people. You're really not going to make it. If you really want to make it, you have to learn not to care about what people think. If you really want to make it, even if people think you're broke, who cares? Because it comes down to the fact that you have to get to a place in life where you're not being led by your ego. When it comes across your head like, I don't want people to think that I'm broke. Why not? Why not? And sometimes when people think you're broke, they will leave you alone. They will leave you alone because they don't, she ain't got it, so don't even ask her because she ain't got it. Like, okay, cool. You see? They're going to leave you alone. Right? But it's like, why? Even like, I got to drive this car. Right? I got to buy this car. You have to ask yourself, why do you need this car? Is it really for you? Or is it because you want to send a message to people that you have a certain level? You got to ask yourself that. You know what I mean? You have to really unpack. When you start desiring things, you really need to say to yourself, like, why do I want this? And you'll see that it has nothing to do with you. It's the fact that you want people to think that you're worthy. But baby, if it takes you having material things for people to like you, are those really the people that you want? Those fair weather friends, right? No. You don't have time for this. You see, Marlene, I drive a Toyota. My car is old, you guys. My car is like seriously old. I could easily be like, okay, I want to go get a Mercedes, which I could. Trust me, I really could. But I'm like, no, because it's just going to sit on the driveway. You guys, I don't go outside. Right? Like I went to Tyson's Corner recently. I saw this Youre bag. It's very, very beautiful. And so I showed it to Jimmy. He's like, And I was like, no, I don't want it. Because for me, if I have to choose between, if I have $5,000, do I want to buy a Youre bag or would I rather buy a brand new computer? Right? Would I rather buy a brand new Mac? Because, and that's most likely what I'm going to do. Right? Because the Mac that I want you guys, I'll show it to you guys when I come outside, right? The Mac that I want you guys, it is so powerful. It is so powerful. But think about that. If you have the bag, okay, you wear the bag. Okay, then what? And then where am I going? Yo, where am I going? I have a baby. Like, seriously, where am I going? You're going to buy something, put in the closet, and just look at it. Do you not see that that's idolatry? Right? These clothes, these shoes, these bags, these cars, it can really become idolatry in your heart. And you know, this world out here, especially with social media, they do want you to become an idolater. They want you to replace God with foolishness. Listen to me, right? You go and you take the 5,000 and you invest that into, like, you buy a better computer, or you buy yourself an iPad, or you buy yourself like a yearly subscription to Adobe, right? And you learn all the products, right? Which one do you think will make you more money? Between holding a Chanel bag or a Dior bag, you have nowhere to go anyways, right? Or you invest in your equipment, like you buy a better camera, you buy a better microphone, you buy a better computer, you buy a better memory cards, you buy some storage, right? Which one you think is a better investment? Right? The day we realize that it's not, like, we have to stop looking for things on the exterior to impress people, because that's lazy. Oh, I'm going to buy this so people think I'm successful. No, do the hard work in silence and actually be successful. And that's how you recognize, like, people who are rich, they usually look poor. Like Warren Buffett has the same car since 1976. He drives the same old Toyota. Mr. Sam Walton, when he started Walmart until the day he died, he drove the same pickup truck, right? You see, rich people and people who are called to be really rich, they are incredibly frugal with their money. They don't throw stuff away. Maybe that's where I got it from. I don't know. My grandma also did not throw stuff away, though. But yeah, she was financially successful because she had businesses, right? But I don't believe that you should wake up every day and just throw stuff away. My chair. They're like, oh, look at your chair. Like I said, this chair, it was gifted to me by Jimmy's mom when I had Trey, right? Because, like, she's like, oh, you can use it to, like, nurse the baby. I've had this chair for over 15 years. You know, and I don't think I'll throw it away. The day I feel like it, I'll just change the fabric, right? They always want you to throw stuff away, y'all. Throw stuff away. Throw food in. Oh my gosh. When Jimmy comes back up, y'all can talk to him. He'll tell you, I despise throwing food away. I don't like wasting food, right? And I'm like, even the stuff we don't eat, I always sound like, yo, before it goes bad, give it to the dog. Give it to Shushu, right? I don't like throwing away food. He calls me a scavenger. Hey, SC, what's up? He calls me a scavenger. I don't care. Right? Because I don't like throwing away food. Like, it really makes me sad. Even with Maverick. You know, because Maverick, he likes to sleep in the water. Right? So sometimes when he's in there, when the water gets cold, you have to change the water. But I have to let the water run so it can get hot. So I started saving the gallons, like the plastic gallons. I started saving them. And then, so when the water runs, I pour the water into the gallon until the water gets hot. So I have like over 12. Let me show you real quick. You'll see. You'll get it. Because I don't like wasting water. I do not like wasting water, right? But yesterday, I had like, my house is clean, y'all. I cleaned today. I sure did. Let me show you. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I'm referring to. You're like, Marty, you are crazy. But you see this, right? Yes. You see all these things? So like, when I don't throw them away. I don't throw stuff away. I have all these bottles right here. I don't throw it away. So, like, when I run the water, right? You see, this water is cold. So instead of wasting it, I'll just do this. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll do this. And then once it gets hot, then I'll just release it, right? Does that make sense? Okay, that's a little demo for y'all. Okay, yes. So, because sometimes I have to change the water like multiple times. So I'm like, I'm going to fill all this up. Okay, all right, cool. So then today, when I had like all the extra bottles, whatever, I told him like, use it in the washing machine. I was like, yeah, because I had like they were all filled up. That's like what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, right? So I had about like 15 gallons of water. Right? Can you imagine if I had let 15 gallons of water just run because I'm trying to get to the hot water? No, to me it's extremely wasteful. Like, I don't know, like, America's such a wasteful country. Like, it really does trigger me, y'all. Well, like, people just waste water. Because, you know, before you, because see, hold on, let me show you that. Let me show you, right? Because you got the cold, hot water here, the cold water. Before you actually get the hot water, it's cold water. Like, this is cold. I'm not about to just, like, let the water just, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. So what I do is, I keep saving these gallons. Like, I save the empty bottles, and then I put the water in there. Because when he takes a bath, he likes to stay in here for like hours, y'all. He can stay in here for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, right? He'll just stay in there. But the problem is the water gets cold. So I have to keep changing the water. But I can't keep letting the water run. It's wasteful. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? So I save the water. Right? And so today, y'all, I'm crazy. You know, sometimes if it's like the day I'm actually cleaning the house, I will even save his bath water, and then I use his bath water to clean the floors. Okay, because I'm like, why do we waste water like this? Like, I just don't get I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. But that's just me. I have a hard time. I really do, y'all. I have a hard time throwing away stuff. I really do. Because I'm like, what are we doing? But if you're not careful, like if you live in America, if you are not careful, America will make you a wasteful person. Okay? America will make you a wasteful person. Meanwhile, you can recycle the water. Even when I wash these bottles, so I wash the bottles and I boil the bottles, right? The water that I boiled the bottles in, I will save that for the next time I have to wash the bottles. I don't dump the water out. Why would I dump the water out? Okay. So I'm like, okay, you use clean water to boil the bottles, but then I save the clean water and I use that water to wash his bottles. And if I have soapy water left over, I'll wash like other dishes with it, right? But I just don't like to throw away stuff though. Make sense? That's the TV. Just like even like his clothes today. I was folding his clothes today because my brother's having another baby. So I was folding his clothes. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm sending my brother so that the baby can wear his clothes. Because they're in pretty good shape. He didn't even get to wear them for long. You know? So, my little nephew, he's going to be an Aquarius, right? So, he's going to have, like, Maverick's old clothes. I'm like, America is a crazy place. It really is a crazy place. People throw everything away. It's like, I don't know. It triggers me, y'all. It really does trigger me. I'm like, why are you so wasteful? What is this, Maverick? What is this? You know? But I'm like, there are people who walk miles. People who walk miles and miles just to fetch water. Maverick, what is this? Your thing is like, what is this, right? I save everything. Even like his baby diapers I didn't get to use, I saved them. I'm gonna send that to Chris so he can use that for the baby, right? You know what I mean? No, that's the TV. But I'm like, always throwing stuff away, right? Maybe if I could, I actually would. I really would. But I'm like, you can use the water. I'm like, you can use water for so much stuff. But I'm like, we throw away a lot of water. We throw away clothes. We barely use the clothes. We throw them away. We throw away all this plastic. It's like, are you sure you can't reuse the plastic? People just throw it away. Even when we go out to the restaurant, we take like food to go. Sometimes they'll give you like really nice plastic. I'll just wash them and I'll save them. Okay? Because I'm like, we throw too much plastic out. I cannot stand water bottles. I think those are incredibly wasteful. They're bad for the environment. Okay? So I have one water bottle and I bought the gallon stuff. Like, that's about it. But I'm like, I really try to not be wasteful. You know? Because like, what is this? You know, but it's so normal. Like, it's such a normal thing in America. Like, it's just so normal. And you really have to check yourself. Like, yo, what am I doing? You understand? So, like, when I saw that because they had to, like, pretty much, like, split, like, $500,000, I personally felt as though, you know, that Dear and Ken, they should have had more money in the bank. Like, you should have had more money in the bank, right? But the problem is, when you are black and you're a content creator, there, even as a celebrity, a black celebrity, there is this disgusting, ridiculous, like, pressure for you to always be so decked out. Buy the latest, buy this, buy that. You saw it with what's her name? Mel, right? Kev on stage, his wife, right? Mel. I think Mel's a sweetheart, but I think when it comes to the shopping, she's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. I think Kevin should have checked her, like, wife, you need to stop, right? But one time I showed y'all the video, Mel came out here, how she's trying to get rid of all these bags. I'm like, sis, that's almost like $50,000, $60,000 in purses. And it's funny how she likes a bag that has like a cord to it, but she kept buying a bunch of bags that don't have a strap. And I'm like, you should know who you are. Even if it's a very pretty bag, you know that you are the type of woman, you like your bags to have a strap. So if it don't have a strap, it ain't gonna be for you. Or if you want it, maybe you just rent out the bag for a week or for 2 weeks and send it back. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, they have websites that you can go on and rent a bag. Right? So that way, I guess, like, you fix your need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I gotta have this bag, gotta have this bag. Maybe just rent the bag. And then when you're done, send it back. Because in the long term, you probably not gonna wear this bag. Because the way you are, the kind of woman you are, the kind of style you have, and the way you live your life, you need a bag that has a strap. If it doesn't have a strap, you are never gonna wear it. So I'm like, you wasted 50, 60, even 100,000 on purses. Then your husband comes on YouTube, talk about, oh, he needs more money, he needs donation because he can't afford to make payroll. And I'm like, because the money is in Melissa's closet. Why are you coming even asking people for stuff when your wife pretty much has the money in her closet? She needs to sell these bags. Right? Even like with De'Ara, me personally, even De'Ara and Ken. De'Ara, I don't even understand why she owes money to the IRS. I'm like, if you can't pay the IRS, says sell your bags. Like, sometimes you'll watch De'Ara content, she has so much stuff, it's on the floor. It's on the floor because she's overwhelmed. She is overwhelmed because a lot of these, hold on, Maverick, a lot of these people are shopping addicts. You are addicted to shopping. And I even feel like sometimes when I watch this quote unquote black girl luxury, I am watching addicts. I'm like, it's like these people are addicted. You have an addiction. You truly, truly have an addiction. And you don't know how to stop. It's not, even Kira, or Monique, is that her name? Right? Even Kira, I think she's a sweetheart. But I think even Kira also has a shopping addiction. She has so much clothes. She's overwhelmed. Like, she has a whole room. She'll just dump stuff in there. She's like, oh, don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm like, but sis, if you even felt the need to say that, because something is wrong up there, right? How can you, like, you have way too much stuff. And she's not going to stop. And I'm like, because a lot of these young ladies have an addiction. They seriously have an addiction. So there's no way, you can't be an addict and make sound financial decisions. Right? I'm like, wouldn't it be a sad thing that people see you on social media, you seem to be doing so good, but like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you might have to go work a job. They'll be like, wow, I used to watch her on YouTube and she used to buy this, and that. You have to really be careful. Right? You gotta be really, really careful. But I'm like, I feel like a lot of women on social media are nothing more than addicts. You are a shopping addict. Like, you have an addiction to shopping. I saw another video from Talita. She talked about how she's cleaning out her closet and she took her clothes to Plato's Closet, right? And so she's expecting some money because I guess like Plato's Closet is like where you go, you know, you give them your clothes, they sell your clothes, and I guess if they make some money, hey Diana, then you'll get some money back. So I mean, it was a good excuse. Hold on, Maverick. But I was like, Talita, I'm sure you're going broke too. Because the way money was being made during the corona, right? Like, during COVID, a lot of money was being made. Okay? People were at home, and then people had the stimulus checks, right? So there was a lot of money in the economy. So it was like, if you were new to social media, I could see how you could tell and be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to keep making this money forever. Making money this easily is going to last forever. So I'm like, I can see, most likely, it's not just that she wants to actually declutter. Oh, I want to declutter. No, I'm like, yo, you're probably going broke. You're probably not making as much money as you need to. So, whoa, like, I have all these clothes and I got bills to pay. So now you want to sell your clothes because it was wasting money. It was wasting money. And a lot of women are wasting their money on some foolishness. And it needs to be said. It truly, truly needs to be said. And so now she's like kind of like shifting her content to more like fitness, health, and lifestyle. Like, you know, like fitness stuff, because fitness is more affordable. Right? If you build an audience that cares about you, about like weight loss and fitness and weightlifting, you know, you don't have to spend that kind of crazy money. But when you're doing lifestyle, luxury, travel, you guys, sometimes you might spend more than the video itself is actually making. Because it's too much money that's being spent, right? So I'm like, ultimately, what's the point of working so hard just to give your money away or to lose all your money to consumerism? Right? You gotta be smart about this. But I personally don't see what the problem is when it comes to wearing an outfit twice, wearing an outfit 3 times. Okay? The majority of people wear their outfits multiple times. Why does social media make it feel like when you're an influencer, you're under obligation to wear a new outfit every single video? That's not healthy. That is really not healthy. And that is a sure way of going broke. You know, because some people are saying, oh my gosh, like maybe De'Ara, like, she's mad because Ken has a new girlfriend. I was like, I don't think it's that. I think most likely, like, she doesn't want to pay the IRS bill by herself. Right? So I could see that. But at the same time, like, and even for Ken, I'm like, okay, he said he was sick, he needed the money. I was like, okay, Ken, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, you didn't invest any money? All this money that y'all made on YouTube, I mean, there's no way that these young people, De'Ara and Ken, did not make over like $2-3 million, right? Where did the money go? Where did the money go? Like, seriously, where did the money go? So that when you guys break up, when you break up and you separate everything, you only left with, you have $250,000, he has about $250,000. That's it? You know what I mean? And then you still haven't even paid taxes on that? And I'm like, who was giving these young people advice, though? Who was giving these young people advice? And the sad thing is, when you say something, people are like, oh my gosh, you're a hater. You're a hater. You're jealous. It's like, no. If you're an older sister, hold on. Maverick. Okay? Yeah, he definitely did. If you're an older sister, like, you gotta speak the truth. Yeah, call me a hater, call me whatever, but I'm not lying, though. Right? Because I'm like, with that kind of money, you know, they both should have had investments. They both should have had some kind of real estate. They both should have had some kind of health insurance, right? They both should have had some kind of savings. And I think they both could have walked away with $1 million apiece, right? But I'm like, De'Ara, I can see her closet probably has $1 million worth of clothes in there. It is a lot of clothes. And she buys expensive things. You know? And I'm like, social media, that's the part, I don't say that it kind of scares me, but that's the delusional part of social media I don't like. Is that to grow, you constantly have to be spending money. You constantly have to be spending money. I don't know. Because I don't know how it works. I don't know much about like taxes and stuff like that. But my point is, like, if it's a channel that if it's a joint bank account, and the bill has to be paid because it's in both their names. Like, if she doesn't pay it, if he doesn't pay, it's gonna come to her. You see what I'm saying? Like, and all of that, like, once again, all of that should have been discussed. Which is why I feel like both of these young people should have had proper financial advisors. Because what if you guys don't make it? What if you guys don't get married? Because you got together, they were like, what, 14, 15? They were babies. When you're 14, you're 15, of course you think you'll marry this person. But it's like, how often does that even happen, right? But I'm like, who was really giving these young people advice, though? I don't think nobody was. And when it comes to your family, especially your family, you know, when you buy them cars, they'll take it. You buy them vacation, they'll take it. And they won't even say, yo, are you even saving enough money? Because a lot of times, family is greedy. Family is selfish. And family will not give you good advice because they want money, too. But you really have to make sure that the young people are okay. And when you are a parent and your child is making way more money than they've ever made, don't be an op. Like, don't be a person who takes advantage of your child. Don't be that parent. If you never had a problem living a regular life, don't try to be fancy now. Okay? If you were a parent, you never had a problem driving a regular car, don't do too much. Even if your child wants to buy you a luxury car, you should be like, you know what? Just buy me like something slightly up, right? Because we need to make sure that you're okay financially. Or if you're gonna buy me this luxury car, it needs to be from like passive stream of income. I don't want you to go and take your seed and use your seed to buy me a luxury car. You understand? Yeah, we're gonna monetize Maverick though, right? And I've talked about that. I'm like, you should never give your seed away. You know, even this whole like black culture thing where people want to see you buy stuff from your mama, people want to see you buy your mama's house off, and da da da. Yeah, it's cute, whatever. But is it always sound though? I don't think it's wise at all. Because I'm like, I see financial liabilities all over the place. And my thing is, how do you even know for sure that he's done with all these women? Because sometimes these people are still having sex. And when people are still having sex, it can get real violent. So no, I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's safe. He made this mess to get 3 people pregnant. Oh, he's gone. AKA, he's damaged good. Okay? Don't mess with this man. Like, because what are you going to do? Because the only thing he's going to do to you is get you pregnant and ruin your life. Because that's what he does. That's his brand. So you should believe him. Believe him. He likes dysfunction, so stay away from him. But I'm like, you know, you have to really be mindful. You truly have to be mindful. I get like on social media, people want to sell a lot. There's these like 2 other white girls too. Like they were caught on TikTok because they did a Christmas haul of all this luxury stuff. But then the people peeped it because the bags were fake. The shoes were fake. Everything was fake, right? And now, so one girl was like, I mean, a lot of people were upset about that. Like, what? Like, why is everything fake? Like, why are you pretending that you have real, genuine luxury products? I mean, expensive products when they all fake. But I'm like, you see, but that's American culture. American culture really promotes consumerism, excessivism, materialism, right? So these young girls, if they grew up on social media, and this is how they've recognized that this is how you get attention. But you got to be very careful. You got to be careful. I'm not saying you should not have nice things, but I'm like, you should be really mindful. Because this money that you make on social media, I don't think social media would ever go away. However, I don't think your relevance is going to stay consistent. Right? Even like with a lot of these TikTokers also, I have noticed that whether it's like Norris Smith, whether it's like Christy, a lot of TikTokers, when they start making lots of money on TikTok, the first thing they want to do is go buy a house, go buy a bigger house and a bigger house. They're always moving, always buying all these houses. And yes, there's a thing that came out recently, like a Forbes thing that came out recently about all these influencers. And they did say that Norris Smith was like, she made like $6 million, right? She made $6 million for 2024. You understand? So I'm like, okay, it's a lot of money. But is it really a lot of money, though? Okay? Because think about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was worth $100 million. And what happened? He went and put too much money into a way bigger house that he couldn't afford eventually. Right? You understand? And so he downsized. Evander Holyfield, he grew up in the South. He had modest beginnings. Even before he became an amazing champ, because Evander Holyfield is an amazing fighter, right? He wakes up one day, he feels like he needs a house that has 20 houses, 20 rooms, 15 bathrooms, wump. And I'm like, for what? You grew up in a house with 1 bedroom. I'm not saying don't have multiple rooms, but I'm saying like we don't have to go from 0 to 500. Evander Holyfield, he also lost his money in that house because eventually, between the house, the mortgage, the property taxes, this and that, he couldn't keep up. He could not keep up. Oh, thank you, Tyler. God bless you, okay? Happy New Year's, right? He could not keep up. So he lost money because the house was just too big. And sometimes I do feel like a house can be a trap. It can really be a trap. It can really be a curse. Like you buying this big house. And then boom, it's the house that sinks you. Look at that family here, y'all. Broom, Austin. That boy, I don't know if he's black or if he's light skinned or if he's biracial. Austin McBroom, right? The McBroom family. What's their name? What's that boy's name, y'all? He's super light skinned. Okay. His wife looks Latina. They had like little kids, right? But you see, they went crazy too. They went and bought a house for $15 million. The house became a money pit. Right? Even Jeffree Star. Jeffree woke up one day and had to go buy a $14 million house. Once Jeffree bought that $14 million house and started showing off that house on social media, that's when his problems really began. For real. Right? That's when his problems really begin. But you see, when Jeffree tried to get rid of the house, it was hard for him because a $14 million house, how many people can afford a $14 million house? Right? There was no need for that. But when people make a lot of money, They say to themselves, I need the biggest castle. I need the biggest castle. You study French history too. Versailles. Versailles was the same thing for Louis XVI. Maverick, stop, okay? What do you want? Louis 16, Louis 14, 15, and 16, right? It got to a point, keeping up with the Chateau de Versailles was becoming a problem because it's just too much real estate. It is too much real estate. You know? So that's why. Hold on. Where's this bottle? Maddie, you need to stop being so loud, okay? Here. Son, I'm going to give it to your daddy, huh? Here you go. Eat some food. Hold your bottle. Good job. Okay. Yeah. That, like, you study that in French history. You study that. Like, keeping up with Chateau de Versailles, it became ridiculously expensive. That's why they couldn't feed the Parisians. Because they were spending too much money upkeeping just the palace. I'm like, if you ever see Chateau de Versailles, even the greenery, like the gardens alone, it's like a work of art. Okay? It is a work of art. You're like, wow, this is beautiful. But the castle was so expensive to maintain, they could barely feed the Parisian people. People were starving. Right? But I'm like, these houses, yeah, it's like, okay, I make more money than but I'm like, you're making money for a season. Like, even, I'm like, Nora Smith, I don't wish her any harm at all. But I'm like, she might not be relevant in the next 5 years because people get bored and they move on. You know what I mean? Christy Sarah, she's like, she wears heels, she rolls on the ground, she pranks her husband. Okay, but how long can that last for? Because honestly, it's brain rot content, right? People gonna wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm too grown for this. Because there's nothing new under the sun. When we were a lot younger on YouTube, you had Glozell. Glozell was sitting here doing all kinds of prank. The cinnamon challenge. Put yourself in a tub with some milk, with some milk, and then you eat the cereal. Like, I mean, Glozell used to degrade herself. She used to degrade herself, and at first it was funny because she was getting a bunch of views. Like, y'all, if you guys remember Glozell, Glozell was getting so many views. Like, is you good? How you doing? She's on something really stupid like that. Okay? Glozell. And then one day, people got sick and tired of the content. Because it was becoming incredibly degrading. I remember the day she put herself in a tub. She was in a bathtub with some milk, you guys, and cereals. It was so degrading. I'm like, this is what you have to do to make money? This is ridiculous, right? And today, she's like broke. She's like broke. She's on Instagram trying to rebuild, but it's like the problem is she made like the content is just so stupid. It was brain rot. So people don't see value in you. You know what I'm saying? If you go famous like off of like a great podcast, having great intellectual discussions, right? Then yes, you can reinvent yourself and you can stay relevant for long. But when all you do are pranks, brain rot content, degrading content, you're degrading yourself. Like the cinnamon challenge, like she almost choked. She almost choked on the cinnamon. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Okay, but the one like when I was done with her is the one where she put herself in the bathtub. Y'all, she was in a bathtub in milk. Like the whole tub was full of milk, and then she was like eating like cereals without using her hands. And I'm like, is this really what you have to do? Is this really what you have to do to be successful? I'm like, this is not sustainable. It's only for a season, right? You understand? And it's like your fame or your relevance is not the same like an actor or an actress, right? Because these people have real skills. TikTokers do not have a real skill. Not trying to be funny, right? Like your content is going viral, so okay, cool. But someone like Will Smith is not just viral. Will Smith is an amazing actor. So he will always have a job. You know what I'm saying? Like you went viral. You didn't really earn it. Like someone like Viola Davis, right? She's a trained Juilliard actress. She's done plenty of roles, right? So people love her because she has a real skill. Like she has a real talent that she has fostered, that she has nurtured. When you go viral on TikTok, you're usually going viral for dumb shit. Right? But it's like, is that the content that's going like 10 years from now? Right? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Is this the content that is going to make people seek you out, look for you? No. So the money you're making, you should be extremely careful because the odds are over 10 years or 20 years, this is probably the period in your life where you'll make the most amount of money. So you have to be really mindful. Everybody has their season. Like once upon a time, people were obsessed with Jennifer Aniston. Not anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot of work. But going viral, making money for 1 year, 2 years, even Alex Earl. Okay, today she's the it girl, she's making all this money, no problem. But you think like 10 years from now, unless she really transform and create something meaningful with a real talent, you think just being a TikToker that talks about her day and puts makeup on, you think that's going to keep her relevant for the next 10 years? You think 20 years from now, they'll be checking for Alex Earl? You think companies and brands will be able to want to pay her the same amount of money they do today? No. So the money you're making, that might be all the money you make for the rest of your life. You're just getting it up front, right? You're just getting that money up front. And then later on, you might not get anything. Well, I'm sure, because that's how it goes. It's a very cyclical. But usually, they love you for about 5 years, right? Usually, they love you for about 5 years. And then they want to go find something else. It's like the music industry, right? They don't, as soon as you start to age, they gotta go find somebody new. Right? Hollywood is the same way. As soon as you start to age, they will go find somebody new. Right? But it's like people usually are really, really into you for like 5 years. But those 5 years, that might be the most amount of money you ever make. Hey, Shar, you understand? And this is why I even feel like, what's your auntie over there, right? Even your auntie, I think her time is coming to an end. Because when people start making videos about you, how much they dislike you, and how evil you are, and you're this and you're that, yeah, they want you gone. They want you gone. You saw the same thing with Nicki Minaj. They wanted her gone, right? They don't like it when you get older. They have to replace you. Yeah, it's her time. But nobody officially wants to end her because who wants to be the one responsible for canceling a black woman, right? But it's like they don't want her anymore. They want somebody else. They can't stand her anymore. And honestly, they have no more use for her. Like, if Jeffrey was still relevant, maybe. But Jeffrey's not on YouTube anymore, right? A lot of these quote-unquote fights for black women in the makeup industry, many things today are just normal. So it's like they really don't have a need for her. So they want something new. And they will get something new. And I think that's what she's not understanding. Because if she understood it, she would change her behavior. She would change her demeanor. And she'll play nice. Right? But people have to remember, YouTube, like being a content creator, it is not a hardcore skill. You're not doing anything that nobody else can do. The thing is, you've been consistent. So therefore, you are at a certain level. Right? You understand? But I'm like, anybody in this space can be replaced. Because, hold on, you guys, hold on. Sorry, I'm put the phone down. My bad. Okay, I gotta make it milk. Maverick, you're too much. Yeah. You're just too loud. And like you're draining me because I can't work like this. Like what is this? Huh? You need to go on vacation. I need to find somebody who can like yes, Matt, yes, that's fine.
Where you put my spot?
What do you mean?
Where's my spot?
Look in the look under the sink. It should be there.
Under the sink?
Yeah, everything should be there. Trey, help your brother look for his stuff. It should be under the sink. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Forgive me. I didn't mean to come outside today, but... Trey, look under the sink for me, please. It probably is there. Regarde en bas. T'as trouvé? You found it? Bébé James. Bébé James. Yeah. Tu as trouvé? Yeah. Okay. De rien. Okay, you guys. Hold on. Let me feed this little baby because he is loud. Maverick, you're just too loud, Maverick. You're just loud. What is this? Yes. What is this? What's the bruit? Mommy has to work, son. How we gonna do skincare lives if you don't know how to be quiet? Huh? Make it make sense. Okay, here. Lay down. Hold your bottle. Here. What are you going? Oh my gosh, you're sleepy. Stop. Hold your vomit. He's so dramatic. This kid. Y'all sorry. It's my bad. He's too much. Yeah, his voice got a lot deeper. It really has. He's too much. Look at him. Look at this little man. He's a lot. Okay. But I'm like, hold up. You know, but I'm like, social media, I'm like, this might be the most money. What? This might be the most money you ever make. And the thing is, you know, one thing I've come to realize too is that you have like social media too, like especially like YouTube, but yeah, YouTube especially, right? If you guys notice carefully, you can see people. There are influencers out here who have like a million subscribers, right? 2 million, whatever, but definitely over 1 million subs, right? Hey Rona, what's up? Happy New Year, right? But they can barely break 100,000 views, right? So it's like it kind of feels like you have a ghost channel, millions of subs. You can't even reach like 10% of your subscribers, right? Because there is a season. I've come to realize this. There is a season with social media because of compounding work, like, you know, compounding efforts. Like when you keep making content, yes, you're going to have a season that no matter what you post, people are going to watch, right? And because of that, some creators never, hey, Bet, what's up, right? Hey, Rhea, what's up, right? Some creators, because of that, never actually put in the work to become better creators. Because no matter what they post, I don't know, where's Kobe now? I don't know. But you see, even with Kobe now, right? You see how now Teo, I don't know if you guys know this man, he's Nigerian, right? You see Teo, he got the auntie's last name, Teo Aina. Teo is like really big now. His time has come. But when Teo was coming up, Kobe now was really big. But today it's like you don't hear about Wode Maya, because one thing also about Kobe now, I do feel like he has not increased his production value, right? When he first started off, like this West African boy, this Ghanaian boy who's very rough around the edges, okay, gives like he just grew straight up in the village, right? Eats with his hands, wah wah wah. It was cute, okay? It was cute. It was a certain aesthetic. But now you have people like Teo, who are also West African, but he's Nigerian though, right? Who show the side of Africa and this, and that. But the production value is there. The editing is there, right? The quality of the footage is there. The quality of the audio is there. So today, when you look at Teo's channel, Teo's getting the views, right? Because I'm like, some creators don't realize that. When it's your season, no matter what you post, you're going to get views. Like Emma Chamberlain, for example, right? Compounding effort. So because she was posting every day back to back for a few years, once like it hit the crescendo, it didn't matter if she added music, this, and that. People going to watch. But today, is it as easy? You okay? You want to eat more? Okay, there you go, right? You understand? Is it gonna hit the same? Probably not, because there's this other girl. She's Asian. I forgot her name. Riza. I think her name is Riza, right? She's this Asian girl. She's a content creator, y'all. When I tell you her videos is a work of art, the videos are beautiful. So like Emma, yeah, there was a season where it was your YouTube for you was on easy mode. Whatever you put, they're gonna watch. But now it's like it's not the same. Right? And so this is why sometimes like you'll have channels that are pretty much ghost channels. And I think that's why some YouTubers don't really want to post on YouTube, but they rather post on TikTok. Hey May, Happy New Year, bonne année. And Happy Independence Day. Okay. Now you're just too much, right? Does that make sense? Because when you're on TikTok, you make the shorts. So you get that quick dopamine hit. 200,000 views, 100,000 views. Yeah, because it's short. Whereas like YouTube, you really have to be intentional. You really have to be intentional. You really have to put in the work to be able to get the same amount of views as you would on a short. And a lot of people don't want to do it. So they go on TikTok. right? For a quick hit. You want that quick satisfaction. But it's not the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? As it's not the same. So that leaves room for somebody to take over. Like somebody could replace Nella, right? Because YouTube is wide open. Because nothing, I'm serious, to me, seriously, I'm like nothing at all builds community like YouTube. TikTok, Instagram, nothing builds community like YouTube. Like when somebody comes on YouTube and watches your video, it's like they really want to get to know you. Okay? TikTok is like, oh, entertain me. Or do something so I can talk bad about you. Okay? But when it comes to YouTube though, it's like if people are watching your videos on YouTube, like they really care. They really care. But you can have 1 million plus, right? Subscribers, and you can't even break 20,000. You can't even break 60,000 views because the content is just not there. Because since you had this moment where YouTube was on easy mode for you, you never really had to learn how to edit, how to do this, how to do that, how to do this, right? And this is why some creators have a hard time reinventing themselves or keeping the money up, right? Once YouTube is no longer on easy mode for them. Okay? Happy New Year, babe, right? So like, okay, I'll just go to TikTok real quick. Because it's so much easier to do something quick. But quick also, long term, where's that going to get you? Okay? Where's that going to get you? But knowing how to post on YouTube, like long form content on YouTube. Yes, baby. I know. If you hear me talk, then you have to talk. Okay? It makes you think, like, you know what? I got to work a little harder. I got to be more intentional. I have to be mindful how I edit my videos, right? And so a lot of people don't want to post, right? They rather post the shorts. And I'm like, you see, so this social media thing, when you post and you post and you post and you finally have your viral moment and then you have that season where like, AKA YouTube is on easy mode, whatever you post, people are watching, I will say, don't get too comfortable. Because this could be the most money you ever make. Not saying that you never make any money, but I'm saying it might be the most money you'll ever make. And what a lot of people do that's wrong is that the money that comes, they use that money to buy clothes, buy shoes, buy bigger houses, buy this, and that. Yes. Forgetting that content creation is a business. And like any business, yes, like any business, you need to reinvest in the business. Right? So when you're making a whole lot of money, that's the time for you to start looking for an editor. Because there's going to be a time where the way you edit, people don't vibe with anymore. If you have an editor, that person, since that's all they do, they'll make your videos better. Right? A time is going to come where it's like when you're making the most money, like when you're really, really making money, you need to go hire somebody to make your thumbnails. Right? But it's better if you train the person while you're still making easy money. You see? Like when YouTube is on easy mode, that's when you want to start building your team. So that way, for the most part, hopefully you'll remain relevant. But if you take all your money when YouTube is on easy mode for clothes, for shoes, vacation, this, and that, you're not gonna last. Exactly. You're not going to last. Not gonna last. Right? You ain't gonna last. Because it's too much. Like I was watching this other video from Mercy. And Mercy she was like, oh, people have to, she was like, it's called what, like the dangers of YouTube, right? Do y'all have to work tomorrow? Maverick, you'll go to your day. Yeah. You're too loud. Who works tomorrow here? Maybe if I don't do the live tonight, I'll probably do it tomorrow. If you guys have to work. Because today is what, Thursday? Tomorrow is Friday. But if you're not working, we can go live tonight though if you're not working. Another live with the StreamYard, right? But I was watching a video from Mercy, and so she was talking about the dangers of YouTube. And she was like, oh, you know, like the algorithm and this, and that. Like pretty much like, you know, giving up excuses, complaining, whatever. And I'm like, no, Mercy. Your problem is you lost sight of what made your channel successful, right? If people follow you, okay. If people follow your channel, right? Hold on, you guys. Let me get comfortable. Okay. If people, if people follow your channel for hair advice, hair tips, wumpty wump wump, wump wump, because that's the way that you got millions of views. You had the whole Youre drama. Now you're trying to do real estate. Now you're trying to do home decor, right? You're losing your focus. Losing your focus, right? So of course, YouTube is not gonna work because the more content you make and the less and less and less people click on it, eventually YouTube's like, okay, people are no longer interested, so why even bother? Right? You don't want people to not click on the video or just click and close, click and close, click and close. Because to YouTube, it's like, oh, is it horrible? Is it bad? Because the algorithm sees that as people are truly not interested. YouTube is a business. I think the day people understand that YouTube, their number one concern is retention, watch time. They want people to stay on this app as long as possible because the more you stay on this app, the more ads you're going to see. YouTube wants to sell ads to people. So if you're making videos that nobody wants to watch, most likely they're not just going to close out of your video. They might close out of YouTube altogether. That's not good for money. That's not good for business, right? But I left a comment. I was like, no, Mercy, you lost sight of what truly matters. Because she was like, oh, people kept telling her, like, oh, what if this YouTube thing is not here tomorrow? I'm like, no, YouTube is just going to be here. You might not be relevant tomorrow, right? So people put that in your head. You allowed yourself to get scared. And now you start doing real estate. But I'm like, why? Why? If you are a content creator and you make hair content, hair growth content, that money you wasted to go do real estate, you could have hired an editor. But the problem is, I think in a lot of people's heads, especially black people, okay, their mindset is, I'm going to pay somebody to edit my video. Because a lot of people are just thinking about how much I'm going to pay, not how much I stand to gain. Hold on. Can you take in, please? Put on this little toy.
I'm about to go out. I do when I come back.
Where you go?
The store.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait, because my door for?
Because you're loud.
Oh, please. I'm not that
I
loud.
can hear you in the basement.
Oh, please. The lies you tell. Okay? Does that make sense, you guys? But a lot of people sometimes say, oh, why am I going to pay somebody to do this and that? Because you're going to make more money. Does that make sense? You're going to make more money. But when you take, it's just, y'all, I've come to recognize it. It's just like a business. If you make money from your channel and you take money out of your channel to go shop, to go do real estate, to go do this, to go do that, when you do it, you're not going to feel it right away. But as time goes on, you're going to feel that you took the money out of the business. And that money should have been in the business. Because you see, like, let's say Mercy bought a house and the house was like $200,000, right? And so she put like $30,000 or $40,000 down to get the house. You take that $40,000 and you hire a full-time editor. Not only are you going to have your regular long-form content, but you're going to have more shorts. Because like when people say things like, oh, is YouTube going to be here? YouTube is not going anywhere. The problem is you got to be able to post enough content to stay relevant on YouTube. Because as long as you have the content and people already like you, why are they not going to watch the content? Okay? Yes, Mav. Why are the people not going to watch the content? And the part that usually wears most creators out, or that like tires most creators, or that really burns people out, is the editing part. Because they're like, oh my gosh, I just record this video and now I have to edit this video. Right? So when your channel is popping, don't try to do real estate. Use your money, hire an editor. Right? Once you have the editor, you start making money with that person, then hire someone to do your thumbnails. Right? Like, look at Mr. Beast, for example, right? Mr. Beast, Jimmy did not get scared. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know if YouTube's going to be here tomorrow. I don't know if YouTube ain't going to be here. No. Jimmy, the more money he started making, the more he started to hire people. So he can make better content. He can make more content. And most importantly, he can post almost like, I mean, he doesn't post as much now, but, you know, he used to post a lot. But it's a lot easier to be consistent when you have help. It's a lot easier to be consistent when you have another person that just does all of your editing, right? Hire somebody else. You're going to be okay. Sometimes it's not thinking about, okay, how much money am I spending paying this editor? Think about all the money that you're leaving on the table because you don't have an editor, right? Think about all the money that could be made if you had somebody helping you. This baby is so loud. Okay? Think about that part, right? And I'm like, you look at the biggest YouTubers on this platform, most of them do not edit their content. They don't edit their content, right? Even this whole like Youre and Ken situation, once again, I do feel like had they been more mindful with how they were made, like, not because they made money, they really did make money, but had they really been more mindful, right, with their money, with their finances, there's no reason why Youre and Ken couldn't have hired 1 or 2 editors, right? They could have hired 1 or 2 editors. So that way, when Ken doesn't feel like it, it's okay. You're a human being. You're tired. When she doesn't feel like it, it's okay. You're a human being. Because to think about the idea of the content, recording the content, and then having to edit and post, and then do all the whole description box thing, it's just too much. But when you have money, why are you buying luxury good when you need to hire more people to help you with the business? Hey, Lib, what's up? Right? Don't buy the bag. Don't buy the luxury car. Don't buy the bigger house. Hire people to help you make more content. Hire people to help you make better thumbnails. Right? I'm like, I see some people. I'm like, if you had a dedicated thumbnail artist, you would get more views. Because if the thumbnail is appealing, people are going to click on the video. Right? But instead, people rather take the money. Oh, I'm going to go on a vacation. I'm going to do luxury content. I'm going to do this. It's like, girl, hire someone to make your thumbnails for you. Right? And it's like what? It's like 1 Chanel bag, right? What you will spend on a Chanel bag, take that money and hire a thumbnail artist to make your thumbnails. Because what's going to happen? The more clicks you get, oh, you know what? I'm glad I clicked on this. Pretty interesting. Right? The more clicks you get, the more YouTube is going to show your video to a lot of people. Right? Then what's going to happen? You're going to make more money. You buy a Chanel bag. How is that making you more money? Right? You're going to do a video, unboxing video. Oh, I'm unboxing my Chanel bag. I'm unboxing my Chanel bag. Okay, sure. How many unboxings of Chanel bags are there today? Right? It's not that special anymore. It is really not that special. I think today, if you were actually even to like open a Coach bag, you'll probably get more views. Because these Chanel bag hauls, they oversaturated. Okay, how many more unboxing of Chanel bags can people see? Right? And people get bored. Right? So I'm like, no. Hire someone, take the Chanel bag money, and then hire someone who can help you to edit. Hire someone who can help you to edit. If you even have a lot, I'm telling you, even if you have even way more money, hire one person to help you like edit your YouTube content. Then you hire somebody else just to help you do your shorts, because editing for shorts and editing long form is not the same skill set. It's very different. Okay, like the intro, they do have similarities, but editing for long form versus how you edit for a short, it's very different. Right? Very, very, very different. Because what could work for a short might not really work for a long form video. What could work in a long form might definitely not work for a short, because people want the information like super quick. Right? Make sense? But I'm like, you should take your money and hire professionals to make your channel even bigger, even better. Right? And then I do feel like after that, once you're making like way more money than you can make by yourself, then if you want to go indulge in luxury or like overpriced things, then you should do that. Right? But in the meantime, you really need to hire an editor. Like it's shocking to me. Like sometimes I watch people and I'm like, okay, you're doing another luxury haul, or you're doing another luxury unboxing, or you're showing all your designer clothes, but your videos are mediocre. So if you keep spending money on expensive clothes and you don't improve your content, your money's going to start looking funny. Right? Because you can't keep spending more than you earn. Yeah, Walmart is selling some kind of Birkin, right? Like you can't. He wants to pass out. Yeah, he's tired. Sometimes Maverick reminds me like we need to poop. the black edition. Okay. But like you can't keep spending more than you earn. Because like anything else, YouTube is a business. And when you're on this platform or any social media platform, you have to you gotta have good money sense. Like you have to have like it gotta make sense in your head, right? Gotta make sense. Financially, it has to make sense. And even when it comes to like the hauls, the shopping, clothes shopping, makeup shopping, this and that type of shopping, I think on a monthly basis, you should really look at, okay, how much did I spend on clothes this month? How much did I spend on vacation this month? How much did I spend on this? Like you really have to be mindful. Because you can't say, oh, if I spend, it'll come back. Yeah, for a season, whatever you spend is going to come back to you. But then there's another season when it's not that easy. Right? Like I remember too, I'm going to tell you this, like with Linger Lashes, there was a season where making money was easy because it wasn't that much competition. You know, you could just wake up, 10 grand, 20 grand. Y'all, I used to have months, you guys. I used to just wake up and do all kinds of money, okay? You understand? There were days where you could just send an email. Everybody clicking on that email. Sorry, y'all. He's passing gas, okay? There were days back on Instagram where Instagram used to have chronological feeds. So whatever you posted, people would actually see the same day. I've learned that. It was a hard lesson, but I sure did learn it. Just because something is easy in this season doesn't mean it's going to get easier for the whole, like, it's going to get easier as it keeps going. No. It might still be a great platform. It might still be a great opportunity, but the skill sets are going to have to improve. The marketing skills are going to have to get better. You understand? Yeah, right? A lot of things are going to have to get better. God is good like that. I do believe that God is good like that God can give you grease for your elbows. But while God is greasing up your elbows, your business mind, it got to start working. Like, okay, it's not so much that is YouTube going to be here forever. Is Instagram going to be here forever? Is TikTok going to get banned? I don't even think that, I don't even believe that TikTok will get banned. And that shouldn't be a concern for people, right? The concern is knowing how to make content that people are interested in watching. Because this whole social media thing, it will never, ever, ever go away. Whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, what else? Lemonade, whatever. People love to see what other people are doing in some form of fashion. Right? Before we even have like quote unquote social media, that's exactly what these, Gossip Magazine, these like rags, like, like National Enquirer, like, because we used to love tea, we always wanted gossip on celebrities, right? All of that is social media. So I'm like, for me, I don't ever see it. I don't ever see it going anywhere. I even see it as though like some people from YouTube, if they make great content enough and they have enough views and things like that, I can see those people even getting contracts with Netflix. Okay? I can see a lot of people who are going to start off on YouTube, prove themselves, right? Prove that they have a formula that works, prove that they have a community that cares, and they'll be able to like, get contracts with Amazon, get contracts with Netflix, get contracts, maybe even Apple TV, to create content just for those platforms, right? Because content is king. So I'm like, social media, I don't see that going anywhere. The only thing is that if you're making content and right now it's good for you, 5 years from now, are you still going to be making a lot of money, right? 10 years from now, are you still going to be making a lot of money? And just like any good company, if you're banking just on yourself, most likely you will go broke. Because there's only so much that a person can do, right? If you want to be here 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, you're going to have to build an amazing team of people who are helping you with this YouTube channel. You're going to have to, right? And this is why, like, I don't know, this is why, like, I'm seeing this trend now with a lot of TikTokers. As soon as they start, because TikTok, they're making fast money. And when you're making fast money, it's very easy to believe that, oh, this money I'm making is always going to be like this. It's always going to be like that. Not really. Right? Not really. Many things can happen. I'm not going to speak bad, but many things can happen. But I'm like, sometimes, like, people just making more money. You suddenly make more money. And your first thing is buy a bigger house. It's like, oh, no, I got to have an even bigger house. Got to have a bigger house. If you don't check yourself, that house right here is going to turn to a money pit. That house right here is a reason why now you have to do all kinds of sponsorship. Now there's an ad in every single video. There's a sponsor in every single video. You know what I mean? You're like, you're rushing to make your content because there's a big ass mortgage power bill, light bill, gas bill that you have to pay for. You understand? Because you're stressed out. And now you're not even making the content because you want to make the content. Remember I showed you this white girl, her husband was divorcing her, and he wanted like half of her channel, and he wanted the house, and he wanted this, and she was out here just crying like, oh my gosh, like what is this, right? Like you see, they could also be divorced sometimes. When not the husband wants half. So if you're the only one that's creating content, like you're the only one creating the content and the content, doing the thumbnails, right? What happens when he's filing for divorce? What happens when he wants all your money? You're going to be so sad, so brokenhearted, you're going to stop posting. Well, guess what? You stop posting, you stop making money. Right? And this is why sometimes it's like, sometimes, once again, it's good to have a team because God forbid anything was to happen to you, the team can keep making content. Even if you don't feel like filming, they can find something and turn it into a short. They can find something like do a compilation of like, oh, your best moments, whatever. But it's like you have people who work for you, who work for your channel, who are constantly helping you to make sure that you're posting, you're creating the content, right? Does that make sense, you guys? Right? But I was like, to me, when I saw their stuff, I was like, oh, it's kind of sad because I do believe that the kind of money that De'Ara and Ken were making, right? They should have had an editor or maybe even two editors, right? They should have not only had their couples channel, but they also should have worked on their personal channel because you just never know. Just never know. Because what if you guys don't stay together? There is no guarantee. Y'all were just too young, right? Work on your own channel, right? If you have a family channel, don't just do the family channel. Do your own channel. Because sometimes, most of the time, when you are always working with your significant other, when your relationship is a commodity, when your relationship is a business, right? It's more likely not to last because it's a lot. The stress, always having to show up for the cameras, always having to put up for the cameras, it is a lot of stress. And so most people who go into social media, most people who go into content creation, most people who go on reality TV with their significant others, right? They don't make it. They don't last. So while you have a couple's channel, he should have his channel and you should have your channel, right? When you want to buy all this stuff, make sure, okay, you know what? Let's hire an editor so that way we can make content for everybody's channel. We can have content for our channel, like our couple channel, and then we can have a content for my channel and then your channel, right? So that way, if there's a split, you still have a viable business to feed yourself, and she also has a viable business to feed herself because it seems as though they took the channel down. I guess they got into their feelings and they took down the De'Ara, like the De'Ara and Ken channel. They took that channel down, and I'm like, why would y'all ever do that? Okay, so that's money gone. Because if you take the channel down, that's it. Right now, you have to go rebuild. She has to rebuild because she's a woman. Most likely, she'll have more than you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, it's sad because I just don't feel as though a lot of people were advising De'Ara and Ken when it came to their finances. Okay? Yeah, it would be harder for some and it might be easier for some. But to me, honestly, I feel like I really do believe that everybody should get into content creation. I really believe that. Like, because to me, content creation is not about, making money, going viral. I just feel like it helps you with like public speaking. I really do. I think a lot of people, if not everybody, needs that. Learning how to express your ideas to other people, right? But content creation is like, it's not going anywhere. It really is not. And I can even see it like in the future where companies are even going to require their staff to have some type of social media presence, right? Like be outside. If you work for a marketing company, if you work for a direct to consumer brand, I can see a lot of companies eventually requiring people to have some kind of social media because it makes business a lot easier. There's this one lady. He's finally asleep. He's passed out, you guys. Look at him. You don't want to see his face. He's finally passed out. But there's this one salon that I go to, right? This black-owned hair salon here in DC. And it's like only the owner is posting. Like the owner, she does everything. Like she works, she posts, like, but she tries her best to post. But I'm like, most of the stylists who work for her, they don't post. They barely record content. And I'm thinking like, how hard is it to put a tripod I don't know what Black Mirror is. I'm like, how hard is it to put a tripod down and to record yourself? Like, seriously, how hard is that? Okay. But they really don't post. And I was like, that's crazy. Because me, Marlene, if I had a hair salon and you want to work in my salon, I'm going to require you to post. Because that's how you get customers now. Like, commercials on the radio, gone. Commercials on TV, gone. Okay. Today, you have to post content on social media to attract business. Right? Because you can't be the owner and doing everything. But I'm like, if you own a beauty salon, if you own a massage place, if you know, like anybody that's in the service industry, even the restaurant, I think servers should be required to have social media. Okay? Because the more people are posting content, especially content about your business, they could have multiple social media accounts though. But it's like, if you're a server too, if you're a server at a restaurant, I could see the restaurant, okay, do you have social media? Right? Because you never know. You might post a dessert we have, a drink that we have, that might bring like 50 new bookings. Okay? You might post our food on TikTok, get 2 million views. And now people will come to the restaurant and eat. But I do foresee a future where people, like companies, will require people to have some kind of social media presence. Well, I'm gonna check it out. Some kind of social media presence, and I do think even in the future that companies are going to require people to know how to use AI. Okay, to some extent, because listen, how else we gonna pay your salary? Right? I see a lot of businesses today, they go out of business not because they don't have a good product, but because they're not on social media. Or they don't know how to use social media effectively. This is why, y'all. This. I gotta stop this live so I can come back on my computer. But this is why I truly believe. Like, this is why I truly struggle sometimes when people say things like, "Oh, I've been applying for a job and nobody's calling me back," or "Oh, I'm unemployed," or "I'm struggling to find a job." I'm like, no, you're not serious. Okay, like I have a hard time taking some people seriously because today, especially when it comes to social media, there are so many companies who need help, right? There are a lot of companies who need help with social media, creating short form content, long form content. Yeah, but it is. You have to. You don't have a choice. Because a day is going to come. I think it's coming soon, huh? Where employees are truly going to have to earn their keep, right? But if you work in a hair salon and you don't post your work, you're not showing your work, what makes you think they're going to book with the salon? And then after that, you still want to get paid, right? So you got to post the content. That's the way the world is. Because the more people see your work, the more people are going to come and say, oh, yeah, I like the way you cut her hair. I like it. Because most people book people based on what they see on social media, right? So if you don't have a social media presence, people might never book. And yet, you could have a great salon, you could have great services, you could have great pricing. But if you don't showcase your work, you're not going to get any bookings. Right? It's a real thing. If you work for a company, if you work for a marketing company, maybe before you guys go all out and spend money on this marketing campaign, you might want to try a little version on TikTok to see if people are even responding to it. Instead of spending $2 million, $300,000, do the commercial and nobody likes it. Right? So you might want to try it on TikTok, try it on YouTube, see, okay, what worked, what didn't work, and then you can kind of know what to tweak, and then you can go and make the actual commercial. Right? But I do, even with AI and stuff like that, but I do feel like there are a lot of things that companies need that a lot of people could start a business of. And like, okay, let me help local businesses, get on social media. Let me help local businesses create their social media accounts. Let me help local businesses do this, and that. And that right there could be a career that you've created for yourself. Because the days of sending an application and waiting for somebody to hire you, I don't know, but I kind of feel like those days are kind of going, okay? Unless you're like really good at your job, right? And this is why sometimes, not to be offensive, right? Not to be offensive, because my husband also does work a 9 to 5. But this is why sometimes I can see why some people don't really respect people who work 9 to 5. Because it's like people are so obsessed with like security. Man, F that. You're being stupid, okay? It's been 2 months. Nobody's hiring you. 6 months. How long are you going to go like this? At some point, you probably don't even deserve to be hired because everybody wants to hire someone that's a go-getter. right? People want to hire people that I don't have to tell you what to do. Even if you are finished with your work, you're going to go find some more work to do. People want to hire people who are self-starters. But me, Marlene, if I'm applying a month, 2, 3 months, ain't got no job, I'm going to start a business. Y'all crazy. You people are crazy. Okay? I'm not about to sit here and wait for someone to say, oh, I choose you, or I'm going to hire you. No, I hire myself. You are insane. Okay? You are truly insane. I am not against working a 9 to 5. But at the same time, though, if the 9 to 5 ain't coming, start a business. There are too many people with needs. There are too many companies with needs. So when people say, oh, I don't have a job, or I'm looking for a job, or I'm only making $12, I'm like, maybe that's what you deserve to make. Because this is crazy to me, right? Even with AI. AI can allow you to do so many things for other companies. I'm like, oh, wow, didn't even know I could do that, right? There's a lot of things that could be done. There are many influencers on here who don't have good thumbnails. Like, maybe become a thumbnail artist, right? There are many people who don't know how to edit their videos. Maybe you can become a video editor, right? We have to stop waiting for people to give us jobs. It might never happen. Or when it happens, it's going to be a little too late, right? So I'm like, you should start something for yourself. If you apply for jobs and you send all these applications and nobody is calling you, maybe you should call yourself. How about that? Okay? Maybe you should hire yourself. Maybe you should create your own career. Maybe you should create a job that fits you and who you are, right? Because there's a lot of local restaurants that don't have TikTok accounts. You have lots of businesses that don't have TikTok accounts. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself out there and don't be afraid of rejection. Even here on YouTube, like, I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who need an editor, okay? You can even specialize in just editing shorts. I called one of my baby sisters because she's looking for a job. And I'm like, you in this job search is giving me anxiety, okay? I'm like, why don't you decide to learn how to edit like shorts, reels, Instagram reels, TikToks, and short. Like, just that. Don't try to do anything else, right? Like, study all these shorts, study the best shorts, whatever. Just study that and then learn how to edit like that, right? And then what you could do, find some YouTubers, whatever, people who are posting short content, and then maybe download the content, re-edit the content, and then send it back to them. And be like, you see, I took this from your page. This is what I did. Because sometimes you might have to do stuff for free so people can see what you're capable of doing. And then from that, because once you have one client, it's a lot easier to have way more clients, right? But I just feel like there are a lot of ways for you to make money online. Because content creation, it's a lot of things. It's not just like, oh, here are my clothes, here's my haul, here's how I cook. No, it's business content. It's all kinds of content, right? There's a lot of content that needs to be made. Even like, oh, how to use AI. That's a way of being a content creator, right? You can be a tutor. That's another way of being a content creator. Like, content creator, it has no shape. Like, it's pretty much anything that is worth sharing to enhance or better somebody else's life. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less, right? So you can do that. Hey, would you like for me to help you with your videos? Because it seems like, we could do this, and that, right? And then you send proposals to people after you've learned how to edit, okay? After you've learned how to edit, right? But a lot of people need help. There's so much money to be made. There is a lot of money to be made, you guys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of money to be made. But you have to be willing to think differently so you can finally get something that works for you, right? But you don't have to wait for a job to call you. You don't have to wait for these employers to finally pick you. And sometimes I even feel like if you create the content in your niche and you put that on your resume, that might be the way for you to get the job. Right? Does that make sense, you guys? That might be the way for you to get the job. Right? Even like finances. Because it seems as though a lot of influencers don't know how to manage their finances. They don't know what to do. Right? They spend a lot of money, but I don't even think a lot of them even know where their money is going. I don't think. So I'm like, so let's say, like, even if you're a lawyer right now, if somebody, you just graduated law school and you have lots of student loans, right? Instead of sitting here crying, waiting for a job and crying about, oh, I can't pay my student loans, right? How about you reach out to some of these influencers and say, hey, I'm a lawyer, I passed the bar, I would love to review your contracts, right? I can do like maybe 1 or 2 contracts for free, right? If you want to get more money out of these brands, I can help you with that. If you like it, if I do 2 contracts for you and you like it, then you can hire me and here's my fee, right? You don't have to wait for somebody to hire you. Like I've never believed that. You don't have to wait for anybody to give you a job. You don't have to wait for anybody to call you in for an interview. Okay? You don't have to do that. From your house, from your car, from your whatever, you can create a business for yourself. You hear me? You can create a business for yourself. And also, let me tell you this. You don't even need to have a big following to make a lot of money. People sell courses. People sell all kinds of filters, LUTs, you name it, right? I have seen a lot of people who teach how to edit here on YouTube. Don't have a lot of followers, but they sell courses, right? I was like, this one guy, I saw his course. It's like a bunch of different courses. It's like 600. I'm okay, maybe I will get that, right? But I'm like, if you sell something for like 600, if you have 10 people who buy it, that's like 6,000, right? So you don't always need to have a big following to make incredible money where you can cover all your bills, take care of yourself, you know what I mean, and live nice and be able to save some money and do whatever you want, right? Don't have to. But I think for me, the way I see it, I think everybody should create content. Like, what is the worst thing that could happen? You start making money, you start getting brand deals, you start, like, you know, having more opportunities. It becomes easier for you to get a contract. It becomes easier for you to get hired. It becomes easier for you, right? So I honestly believe that everybody should create content. And when you make your content, you have to try to better your content with every upload, right? Better your content with every upload. The day you get to a place where your channel makes enough money, resist the urge to do something extremely black, okay? Which is, oh, I gotta go buy more clothes. I gotta go buy a Chanel bag. I gotta go buy more weaves or like more wigs. Like, you have to resist the programming that we have as black people, right? Should you buy the Chanel bag or should you buy a better computer? Right? And I know that sometimes when you've waited for so long or you struggled for so long, like, everything in you is saying, I need to prove to people I've made it. I need to prove to people I'm making money now. I would say don't do it. Okay? Number one, because you want to learn not to feed your ego. Okay? You want to learn to not feed your ego. And initially, and it's about the views, but it's also like your watch time, because you can have lots of views but not make too much money because people are not watching the video that long. So views kind of do matter, but it's really your watch time. Because if you have lots of views and people are staying and actually watching the video through and through, yes, you're going to see a lot of money. But if you have a video and people start clicking off like after 30 seconds, right, you're not going to have that many watch hours. Because even to get qualified, even to get monetized on YouTube, they don't say, oh, you got to have these many views, right? Unless it's like the shorts. But the old way is still the hours. So you got to have like 4,000 watch hours. So YouTube wants people actually watching the video, not just clicking on the video. You know, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Right? When you've worked for a long time, when you've worked for a very long time, right, there is this like human desire, earthly flesh desire, whatever, to say, I got to prove to people I've made it. I got to prove to people I have money now. I got to prove to people I'm on this level. You understand, right? I get that. But I will also say it's a very immature feeling. You have nothing to prove to anybody. You hear me? Whatever you build it for you. Build it for you. If you decide to be a content creator this year, do it for you. If you put your all into it, like you spend hours editing and researching and do it for you, right? If you do it on TikTok or you're doing it on Instagram, right? Do it for you. You have nothing to prove to anybody, right? What you're doing is for you. A car does not make a person. If people need to see a fancy car to respect you, that's their idiocy. Don't carry that. Do not internalize that, because that has nothing to do with you, right? If people need to see you wearing certain clothes before they put you on a level where they have respect for you, because they have no respect for themselves. You don't even want to attract people like that. You hear me? You don't even want to attract people who require you to wear certain outfits before they treat you nicer or before they treat you better. These people are poorly raised. People are not raised right. When the outfit of a person dictates how you treat a person, you're not a good person. You are truly not a good person. Because if you're raised right and you're a good person, you will know how to treat people no matter what. Because you know a car does not make a person, an outfit does not make a person, right? You should have respect for people no matter what. You should be polite no matter what. Because a poor person, A person that has a smaller car is not less deserving of respect, kindness, just because they're not pulling up all expensive. It's a lot of criminals with many expensive things. That don't make them good people. Okay? Right? So you have to resist the urge to feed your ego. You have to resist the urge to nurture your ego. Anything your ego wants to do the complete opposite. You hear me? And therefore, the day that you really come into a lot of money, beaucoup money, you're more likely going to keep your money because you've killed your flesh. So now when you're doing business for you. You're doing business for your children, for your family. Okay? And when you're doing business for the family, when you're doing business for yourself, right? It's long term. It's a long-term vision. And that's why, for the most part, when you see a lot of like really, really rich people, right? They don't wear expensive shoes, expensive clothes. No, they don't care. They don't care. They have nothing to prove to anybody because they are doing this because this is what they love. If you could find me doing anything, you would find me doing this. Right? And eventually, those who know you, oh no, she actually has money. Oh, he actually has money. They just don't care to show it off. And this is how a lot of Vietnamese people, for example, make a lot of money from black people doing nails. Because in these nail shops, a lot of Vietnamese people, they dress poor, right? They dress like they have no money because they want you to feel bad. They want you to believe that you have way more money than they do. So that way you're more likely to tip the people, right? It's all psychology. Because when you know what you want, you don't get distracted, right? If your goal is to say, you know what, I want my son to go to college or I want my daughter to go to college debt free, you don't have time to waste your money on foolishness. You hear me? If you know that you want to live a life where you're debt free, you don't have time to go waste your money on foolishness. When you do content creation, I pray that your business works because it is a business, right? If you decide to become a content creator, I pray that your business works. I really do pray that you make money off of this content creation stuff. I mean, why would you not, right? But I also pray that on that journey, you kill your ego, right? And it's not about the flesh. It's not about, oh, this, and that. And what more can I buy? What more thing? No. You are here to build a business that's going to take care of you, your children, your family, whatever. And that hopefully by God's grace, you will never want for nothing. And when you retire, you're not going to want for nothing because we're not just living for today. Okay? We're not living for today. We're living for 15 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. You understand? And you have to understand clearly that money is like soldiers, right? Every dollar is like a soldier. And those soldiers have to go to war for you. Okay? Buying foolishness, wasting your money on foolishness, that's not going to war. That's just getting executed. Okay? You gotta put your money at work for you. Every time God puts money in your hand, you gotta have the mindset of a steward. Okay? Is that good stewardship? Is it good stewardship to do this, right? If I put my money in this bag, as opposed to hiring an editor, as opposed to buying a better computer, as opposed to buying a course that's going to teach me how to be a better editor, that's going to teach me how to make better YouTube videos, right? Which one of those two is me being a better steward? And you'll realize that the one that keeps making money over and over, that's where your money should go. That's where your money should go, right? Look at Mael Organics, for example. You see, Monique out there and her brand, especially her Rosemary Mint collection, right? You see all this drama that's been happening with Mael Organics, right? And there's no way the brand has not taken a significant hit because that's your credibility. When people start believing that your hair product can cause people to go bald, this, and that, right? It's a lot, you know? Because even if some people might want to give you a chance, is it worth the risk? I don't know, right? But at the same time, it's like, for me, I am not surprised that she's going through this because when you look at Monique and the way she runs Mael Organics, right? It's all about her trying to sell you a lifestyle. Oh, I have money now. Oh, I wear designer bags. Before, when she started off, she was like very humble, praying her Bible, like doing Bible study on Instagram. But eventually, she wanted to tap into that black market where it's like, you know, it's very much like I'm the wife of a drug dealer. It's cars, Mercedes, foreigns, luxury, this and that, right? As opposed to really focusing on the products, the hair, and the people. Right? So when you are distracted by foolishness, when you're trying to like you are a hair care business owner, but instead it's like you want to be an influencer. So it's bound that something stupid gonna happen to the brand because you're not focusing on what truly matters, right? I've said this in another live. I'm like, if Mielle Organics, for example, if they had an in-house dermatologist, right? Imagine how much more credibility the brand would have, right? If Mielle Organics had partnerships with Black-owned or any type of cosmetology school where young students were actually using their products, imagine how much more credibility the brand would have, right? But instead, she's out here giving out Mercedes to people. She'll do a random giveaway, like giveaway Mercedes. And I'm like, why are you giving away Mercedes? Have we ever seen L'Oreal out here give cars to people? Do you ever see who else? Olaplex give cars to people? No, right? Because hair care brands, like serious hair care brands, are not car dealerships. Okay, they work with schools like Avita. They work with school. Paul Mitchell, right? I think part of the reason why people also have lots of respect with Paul Mitchell as a brand because Paul Mitchell also has a cosmetology school. They have an esthetician program, right? So when your brand is tied with education, training the next generation of cosmetologists, right? Most likely, when those people graduate, they're gonna keep using your products, and it makes the company look more serious, right? It makes the company look more serious. Even hiring like a trichologist, in-house cosmetologist, right? Instead of buying these cars, why are you buying cars? Why are you giving away cars to people for buying hair products, right? Instead, you should maybe like give away, like have a scholarship program where you pay for young people to go to cosmetology school debt free, right? Have partnership with cosmetology schools where you send your products there and have those people use your products, right? Work with people in the industry that you may get some credibility or even more credibility for your hair care brand. But you giving away cars, you hanging out with reality TV people, you hang around with like these black celebrities, what does that actually do for the brand? It does absolutely nothing. Because when something bad happens, when there's bad press out there, none of these people can come and say, oh no, I stand beside the brand. Because none of them are qualified to do hair. None of them are trained to do hair. None of them are like doctors, right? These are just celebrities. These are just quote unquote like D-list celebrities, whatever. It's like they can only do but so much for the brand. But when it comes to can people feel safe putting this product on their hair, right? You have no one to come to your rescue. You have no one. But you're not going to see Olaplex have this issue because they're surrounded by a bunch of chemists and like they have a highly trained PhD people with the company, right? You look at Castaz, same thing. You look at, like a lot of these big hair care brands, they are seriously serious about hair. So when it's that, people are more likely to be like, okay, like we trust it. Sorry, y'all. We trust the brand because look at how many professionals are using the brand, right? I even saw, like, I was going to look at the brand like Amika, right? Amika also, like, they have a whole program with a lot of cosmetologists. They take them out on vacation, like all kinds of brand trips, whatever. But you consider how many professionals use Amika. When you are a regular consumer, if you see a bunch of professional hairstylists use Amika, like, well, it must be good. Because most of the time, people associate, like, salon, like, if I see a professional in a salon using this hair care line, well, it must be salon quality approved. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. Right? That makes sense, you guys, right? But if you see a product used by random people, does that really make me feel like, okay, this is actually quality? I don't know. It depends, right? Y'all still here? Okay? It depends. You understand me? So I'm like, Amika, for example, they have partnerships with a lot of influential cosmetologists all over social media. When you also look at what other brands out there, Redken, right? Redken also has a lot of professionals who use the brand. They have retreats for the brand. They have training sessions for the brand. They fly out a lot of, amazing, highly influential salon people, right? And they take them over a weekend and then they teach them everything about the brand, their products, the cutting techniques, like what's new in the industry, this, and that. And I'm like, okay, and then you can see why a lot of professionals are more likely to trust Redken, right? And then everyday consumers are more likely to trust Redken. Because if you see lots of professionals using it, it must be good. Because otherwise, they're not going to use it. Same thing with like K18, right? Yeah, Oribe, like they put their products. I'm like, and I'm starting to see that. And I'm like, and all of that is that blackety black programming. Like we really have to do away with that kind of stuff, right? Because it really is the ego. I gotta prove to people I have money. Gotta prove no, but there's another way. There's another way to go about it. And I really want to say, like, I really want to challenge people because to me, I think always going for luxury stuff, expensive stuff, it's a lazy way to prove your worth to people, right? Building a brand that does not depend on what you have, what you wear, but that's truly about the work that you do, right? That's what I'm going to say. Like, be about the work that you do. When people think of you, don't have people thinking about what you're wearing, what you're not wearing, what kind of weave you have, what kind of weave you don't have, because that anybody can do it, right? You can put this outfit on today. Another girl can watch your content, buy the same outfit as you, and she can wear it better and she'll get more views. You know, we saw, what's that girl? Chioma was complaining about that. Oh, like she'll make a video, but this other girl, she'll watch the video, she'll go make her own version, and she gets more views than Chioma, right? So eventually, I guess Chioma got a little jealous, okay? Because she wasn't happy about the fact the girl was making more views. I'm like, why? Because she obviously unlocked something that you haven't unlocked. Like, you know how to find the information. But when you make your content, you don't know how to pass out the information in a way that's as engaging as she does. So you kind of have like a quarter of the thing, right? You know how to find the stories. Now, telling the story, know how to edit, what kind of thumbnail to do. That young lady over there, she understands the rest of it. She might not know how to find the story, but she knows how to edit. She knows how to do it, right? And then she knows how to do a thumbnail. So she's getting more views than you. And I'm like, and you see, and that's what you want. Like, you want people to think of you based on the quality of the work that you do. But because that's a lot harder, people rather buy luxury this. I mean, to me, it's not even luxury. It's just overpriced. Buy this, buy that, because it's expensive. And therefore, if I wear expensive things, that will convey to people that I am successful. Sure, whatever. But I think also that is more ego-driven, okay? I think you have to really fight to be about, people need to know me for the quality of the content that I make. Not what I wear, not what my head looks like, my hair looks like. No, it's the quality. Like, oh, if I watch this video, I'm going to learn something. If I watch this video, my life is going to change. If I watch this video, you know, I'm going to reconsider things the way I haven't done that before. You understand? And that right there, and I feel like that's what's going to keep you relevant for a very, very long time. Because every time people watch your content, they get something new out of it, right? And it's like, it serves your audience more than it serves you. That makes sense, you guys? Makes sense, right? And so when you do stuff like that, you're more likely to have way longer success on social media than if you're just, oh, well, look at what I bought. Look at what I bought. Look at what I bought. And this is why those two young girls on TikTok, you know, pretty much went on TikTok and lied about receiving luxury items for Christmas, because they just want people to see them as a rich daddy's girl, as opposed to learning how to post on TikTok, learning how to make content for TikTok. And like everybody else who's kind of successful on TikTok, post daily, post consistently, right? And then wait your turn. You don't have to lie. You really don't have to lie. But now all these people are, okay, you're a liar. Like, everything you wear is fake. Everything you wear is fake. And I'm like, is that really the reputation that you want to have? That your bags are fake, your shoes are fake, your necklaces are fake, this is fake, right? Because once again, you're being lazy. And you want what you wear to convey to people that you're successful, instead of doing what everybody for the most part has to do on TikTok, which is post consistently, post daily, right? And then wait your turn. And then one day you will have the money to buy those things. And when you do buy those things, because people saw the grind, because people saw the consistency, right? They're going to have more respect for you. Not because of what you bought, but the fact that you gave yourself the ability to buy those things. Right? And I think that's why many times, people love to see a story, like especially on TikTok, even on YouTube, but they love to see an influencer who started like in a small kitchen, right? And kept posting her little recipes, whatever. And then today, like 3 years later or 4 years later, she has like this big old kitchen. It's not so much that, oh, the kitchen's so big, but it's like, yo, like you work hard and then you gave yourself the means to change your life. Does that make sense, you guys? Right? I think that's what people appreciate more. But when you're lazy, you're not going to see that. You're like, oh no, they just want to see luxury goods. No, I don't think that people even care that much about luxury goods, right? Because a lot of people are de-influencing and they're down. Hey, Lonnie, I wrote you a sweet note yesterday. Oh my gosh. I wrote you a sweet note to wish you Happy New Year's. And the phone died. I said, you know what? So now I gotta find the courage to rewrite the whole note. It was I'm like, why did I not charge this phone? I had such a sweet note for you yesterday. It just my phone just died. I said, Lord Jesus, why? Because I left Jen a comment. Then when I came to you, I was writing this beautiful note. Oh my Lord. And the phone just died. I was so mad I went to sleep. I was so pissed off. But I'm gonna write the note, right? But I'm like, that's really what people want. You understand? I'm like, cause I spend a lot of time outside. I could be a YouTube coach. I spend a lot of time outside, and I'm like, what I've come to recognize is that people are truly, I'm gonna do it. People are truly not so much interested in luxury goods. People are more interested in the journey that it took for you to change your life, transform your finances, right? People are more impressed about the fact that you were able to transform your life. But if people think that because you go to a store, you swipe your card and you have all these bags or you show your closet, that's where you're gonna get a bunch of views. No. There are a lot of people here who have beautiful closets, expensive closets, really, really nice things. They have no views. Because it's not the closet. It's not the closet, it's not the shoes, people don't really care that much. It's the story about how did you get this closet. So if you started off like, there's this one girl, I keep saying this, I need to go live on my computer, but there's this one girl, Amy. She used to go by like Song of Style, right? But Amy, like over a decade, like way before I started YouTube, right? But like decades ago, when she had a fashion blog, right? Amy used to review clothes from Forever 21. Okay? Forever 21. You hear me? Right? But today, it's like designer this, designer that, right? And so it's not so much that, we love Amy because she buys designer. When you're lazy, that's how you're going to think. No, people saw her progression from being only able to buy fashion Forever 21. Then she graduated. The graduation is like, it used to go from Forever 21 to Zara. Because Zara used to be expensive, y'all, okay? If you know, tu sabe, okay? Zara used to be like upper echelon. No, I'm lying. It kind of was. But it usually was like Forever 21. Then you graduated to like H&M. From H&M, you graduated to Zara, right? And then from Zara, like then you just move on to like Louis Vuitton and whatever, right? But I'm like, for Amy, because I remember Amy like from years ago, like over a decade, she used to just wear Forever 21 because she was a student, right? And people rock with her. Even Wendy's lookbook. Oh, people used to love Wendy, right? Wendy's lookbook. Wendy also started with what she could afford, right? But then, like, remember, like, I don't know if she's still married to him, but I guess so. But I remember, like, when her husband really started getting involved with her production, like, her videos just, like, were so beautiful. Like, Wendy used to have the prettiest lookbooks on YouTube, right? And so that evolved into something else. But we got there because people saw Wendy at the bottom. So then when you saw Wendy, like, laced in designer, it wasn't like, oh, my God, let me go buy designer, too. It was like, dang, like, this girl really changed her life. It is the journey that people are excited to watch. Like, wow. I found this new white girl. I didn't even know she existed. Tinty or Inti. I don't know what her name is, but she's really skinny. She has like a black boyfriend or a black husband. She's on TikTok. She does like mac and cheese. I didn't know she existed. You guys, the girl got like 6 million, like 10 million followers. She gets like crazy views. I had no idea she existed. But I was reading her comments, and then somebody said, I remember seeing this girl in a tiny kitchen, and now look at her in this magnificent kitchen. I'm like, you see, this is what gets people. It's not like, oh, look how rich she is. It's that people saw the journey, right? People saw your transformation. I guess same thing with Emma Chamberlain too. Like, you start small in your car, in your room. Like, like people have direct access to you. Nothing about you feels intimidating, right? And then one day, it's like, this girl really changed her life. What the freak? And that's the part that's inspirational. right? This notion that luxury is inspirational, I completely disagree with it. I think what is inspirational is a person's resilience. Like when you are resilient, when you're committed, when you show up, people see you grind. People see you stole what you have. You're not trying to have any airs about yourself. Da, da, da. And people see you like level up. They're like, oh, wow. I remember when this girl used to sit on the floor. I remember when this girl used to work at the Starbucks. I remember when this girl was just cooking her small kitchen. So the fact that people see you small and now they're seeing you like doing all kinds of big things, like that part right there, it touches people because everybody has a dream. At least one. Everybody has at least one dream. And every day, whether people are working a 9 to 5, if people are being entrepreneurs, right? Everybody is hoping that one day my dream is going to come true. And the life that I see myself living, I'm going to live that life, right? And so I think people come to social media to really find that kind of inspiration. And I think along the way, it got cheapened, it got diluted, it got perverted, where it's like, oh, inspiration means unboxing bags, unboxing shoes, da 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 da. And it's like, no, that is not inspirational. Sometimes it's actually like, it's actually concerning. Like, are you okay? Do you have a shopping addiction? Are you about to go broke? Okay. But it's it's the journey to get there. And once people fall in love with the journey, because you've made them feel as though, wow, if she does it, I can do it too. Now, I don't think, to some extent, I think the journey should be relatable. But now, there's a part I don't think should be relatable. Because the more people see you go after big things, not shopping stuff, but like bigger dreams, bigger goals, and things like that, right? They're like, wow, there's something special about her. Does that make sense, you guys? Exactly. Right? And I feel like that's why a lot of like white content creators, right? They're always very mindful to not come off as too rich, because they still want you to see you in them, which is maybe why Michaela is currently on TikTok crying, because maybe she's done a little too much showing off and now it's turning people off. Because if she loses her views, right? If she gets to a place where you have 15 million followers, but you're not even getting 1 million views on your page, right? Her money's gonna start looking funny. And she spent a lot of money really fast. But I'm not wishing bad on anybody, knock on wood, right? But when you see someone like Mike Tyson's go broke, when you see somebody like Evander Holyfield go broke, it's not a TikToker that can't go broke. It really ain't. It's not a YouTuber that can't go broke, right? Because these people had a crap load of money. Then the money's just gone. Money's just gone. Houses, IRS, this and that, taxation. Money's just gone. And then also many times too, when you have that life, only you can sustain the life. Your husband can't. You know what I mean? There are a lot of girls who have big social media presences. There are a lot of girls who make a lot of money on social media, but their mans don't. Okay, the husband does not. And if something was to happen tomorrow, he probably couldn't take over the finances because it's not realistic money. It's possible because social media, but it's not realistic, right? Exactly. So I was like, because my big sis was talking about Michaela crying on TikTok. She's like, oh, Marlene, she's been crying because maybe she wants to come off like more relatable now, because she did a lot, but you have to be very, very mindful, because if something happens, you're the only one in the family that can make this kind of money. You're not married to some tech person. I think Michaela's boyfriend's like, he's a regular guy, right? So, and she lives like $1 million lifestyle. So if you no longer have that lifestyle, he can't step up and foot the bill, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, right? And a lot of females, a lot of ladies are in that situation. It's like, okay, if you're no longer making money the way you used to, your husband can't pick it up. Like he can't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what I've come to realize with social media, at most you have is 5 years. And then after 5 years, people just move on to something else. I was even watching a video too. I should have done this live on my computer, but whatever. I was even watching a video of Shameless Maya. Okay. And she pissed me off because she was saying that she's broke. I'm like, what you mean you're broke? So that pissed me off. She was like, I don't know. I was reading the comments and the ladies were talking about, oh, I'm unemployed too. I'm a mother. I'm unemployed. You know, so it kind of made me a little bit mad because I'm like, Maya, you have too many talents to be broke. I'm confused. Like you trying to get my nerves, okay? Maya is just way too creative to be broke. That don't even make no sense. So like, so if you're broke, it's because you want to be broke because that's crazy. You're a photographer. You're a videographer. You are a storyteller. I'm like, you can start a course. You can sell a course. Maya is really, really good at photography. Okay? She's the one who came on YouTube and like, well, especially when it came to like the beauty YouTube, she put us on to the backdrops, the lighting, you know, because she brought a lot to like black YouTube, like the beauty, like the beauty stuff, like, because she's the photographer, so she knew a lot, right? So I'm like, you don't have a reason to be broke. When you're a creative person, when you are a creative person, when you are like a serious creative person, why are you broke? It's like it's in your DNA to create. So if you're broke, to me, oh, maybe because I was like, Maya, be quiet. I X'd out. I ain't trying to hear this. I'm like, you, Maya, you have no reason to be broke. Maya is too talented. Like, she's just too gifted. You are just way too gifted. I'm like, you can do a course. Like, she can sell a course. You can sell like a seminar. You can do what. And my thing is, you can create a new channel. There's nothing impossible for you, girl. Like, seriously. And I wasn't always like a fan, not a fan of her content, but I was not always a fan of her behavior, right? But one thing, Maya came on YouTube and she, you know, she blew up pretty fast. So it's like, if you did it once, you can do it again. Okay? Exactly. So I'm like, you have no reason to be broke. You are just way too gifted. You are just way too talented. And she's very pretty. So I'm like, you have everything on your side. Like, why? You're broke. Like, girl, what? Girl, be quiet. Okay? If you're broke because you want to be broke. Some people, it really has to be that. Some people I can tell, oh, Marlene, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. Like, yeah, you don't have too many skill sets. Okay, so I can see why you broke. But when it comes to Shameless Maya, I'm like, Maya, you are just way too talented. You're just way too creative. We have seen your creativity here on YouTube, so that don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense. And my thing is, you can always start a new channel. Maya could have a channel just for photography. Maya could have a channel just on editing. Maya could have a channel on storytelling. Like, girl, you don't have to have just one channel. You on YouTube, you can be multiple things to multiple people. Okay? You're not stuck to just one channel. She sure did work for Prince. She was commissioned for a tour. So I'm like, girl, if you're broke, it's because you want to be broke. Okay? All right. Like, please. Okay? You can have multiple channels. You can have your family channel with your son and your husband, but you can also do like a YouTube video. You could talk about everything you did on YouTube and how you were successful. You gonna make money. You can have a photography channel. You gonna make money. Maya could even have a tech channel. Like, I'm like, nothing is stopping you from having a tech channel. We don't even have enough girls on YouTube like reviewing tech, right? But the way she knows how to edit, the way she knows how to do videos and stuff like that, I don't see why that channel would not be a hit, right? I could even see her being a YouTube coach. I don't see why it would not be a hit. Like, so I'm like, if you're broke, boo-boo, because you want to be broke, okay? I don't have time for this. So I X'd out the video because I wasn't trying to hear this. All right? And then you know what thing that also gets me? Y'all be trolling people. One thing that also gets me is when people are on YouTube in the comment section saying, oh, I don't have a job. I'm looking for a job. You know, I've been waiting for somebody to hire me. And the whole time I'm thinking like, you obviously have a YouTube account. Start creating content. Yeah, and yeah, if she's burnt out, then I guess that's because then she's broke by choice. But my thing is, I mean, I can see it too, though, but at some point, you have to realize that if you have money stress, if you have financial stress, even that is going to burn you out. Not to be offensive, right? But financial stress also can cause mental fatigue. You know, so sometimes it's like, yeah, and you don't have to do too much. Like maybe just do one video a week. But I do feel like if Maya was to sell a YouTube course for even $100, $200, I think a lot of people would buy it. You know, if she had a YouTube course, how to start a YouTube channel, things like that, even like 10 hours of content, 15 hours of content, right? If she was selling out for like $100 or $200, then you give a coupon code. I don't see why Maya could not get like 1,000 people to buy it. Like, a lot of people love her. A lot of people love her. And a lot of people were always a fan of her photography, her videography, etc., etc., etc. So even now, I think her videos are really pretty. Well, because she knows how to, she understands these cameras, right? So I'm like, if she sold a course on that, $150, $200, I don't see why she wouldn't even get like 500 to 1,000 people to buy the course. Boom, boom. You just made like 20,000. So sometimes some people, when they say they broke, I'm like, I don't buy it. You're just way too creative to be broke. Like something is, I don't buy that. Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, I don't even see like, even Alyssa. I think if Alyssa wanted to have a tech channel, like photography channel, where she talked about like her cameras, her lighting, I think Alyssa will do really well for that because people have loved her lighting and stuff for a very, very long time. So now they get to know what cameras you're using, this, and that. I think that could be a great channel. You don't have to just do one thing. Like to some people, I'm like Marlene Iman over here, right? Other people know me as Fit by Lena. Other people know me as Ling Lashes. Other people know me as my hair channel. You can be multiple things on YouTube. You can have multiple identities on YouTube. It's okay. Right? You don't have to be stuck to one identity. Like, you don't just have to be one thing. Because you might love multiple things. So if people love hair, they can go over there. If they love that, they can go over there. You can have multiple identities on YouTube. It's all you. Because nobody is just one thing. Right? But I'm like, you could do really well. So you don't have to be broke. But when I see people in the comments like, oh, I'm broke. Oh, I don't have a job. Oh, I just got laid off. I'm like, well, you obviously have a YouTube account, right? If you ain't got no job, then start posting. Right? Like, what's the problem? But I think a lot of people are waiting for some kind of like miracle and this, and that. But my thing is, if you have a YouTube account, start posting. Post your content. Right? Oh, I saw this one person leave a comment, oh, I'm a graphic designer and job is not coming the way it used to. And I'm like, what? If you're a graphic designer, why don't you start creating tutorials about how people can use graphic design to make their stuff better? Why are you broke? I am so confused. I'm like, why are people so afraid to create content like this? Right? But you're waiting for a job or you got laid off. Okay. Post content. Right? This lady said, oh, you guys pray for me because I just lost my job. I was like, why do we have to pray for you? You're fine. Post your content. Right? Maybe sometimes God allows you to get fired so that you can post more content and create your own business. You know what I'm saying? But like, why are you crying? I don't know. People cry like, oh, I lost my job. They start crying. I'm like, the people who fired you, they're not crying. They're not thinking about you. Maybe by next week, they'll hire somebody else. Right? You should have seen this day coming. Right? But why are you crying about people who gladly fired your ass? Because you think you need a job to eat, like to be? No, you don't. You can be your own job. You can make your own job. But I'm like, okay. And I was like, sis, maybe it's a blessing. Like, create more content. Treat your YouTube like a job since you want a job so badly, right? You understand? I'm like, it always gets me. Ooh, what is this? But it always gets me like, sorry, y'all. I don't know what this is. It always gets me how people want to know, okay, if I do work, I am definitely going to get a check. I think that's why people want a job. Like, I think people want a job because people want the guarantee. Like, okay, if I work 40 hours, there's a guaranteed check that's coming, right? And I kind of get that. I'm not against that. But to some extent, if you've been waiting a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and you're not trying to like take any job that comes your way because you want to be picky, then you can post the content, right? Because you're not getting paid anyways. Just watching time go by, waiting for somebody to hire you. So why not just create content? Even cleaning your house. Like, I'm like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. But if you see that so many people are making money on YouTube, posting their content, you just lost your job. You should say to yourself, well, you know what? Maybe it's a good time to try. Because what do I have to lose? Nobody's paying me right now. Right? Oh, hey, Christine. Like, I'm like, it doesn't register for me. But I just think like some people, they're so brainwashed to believe that a job is the only way, right? Now, some people do need to work a 9 to 5, like doctors, accountants, nurses. Like there are some people we definitely need. So you know what I'm saying. But I'm like, okay, the people they fired you, you want to take a whole time out, start crying, mourning. When you were born, did you know about this job? When you were in your mother's womb, did you know about this job? Girl, you met this job on earth, you gonna leave this job, okay? It was either or. Like either you gonna leave this job or they gonna fire you. They fired you first. So it is what it is, right? But I'm like, why would you sit here and cry about the job? Yeah. Post the content. Oh, I'm a graphics designer and I'm not getting any clients. There are thousands, if not millions of people on social media who are looking for advice about graphic design. So I would feel as though like if I was a graphic designer and I didn't have no job or I didn't have clients like that, I would just go around YouTube and see and look at people that have bad thumbnails, right? And I would roast people's thumbnails. I kid you not. I even thought about, because I don't have enough time, but I even thought about roasting people's videos, like the intro to the video. I was like, but I had a few people in mind, but I don't want them to get offended, right? But it's like, I would roast the intro. Like this first minute of the video is horrible, right? There's a lot of people I have in mind, right? Because the intro is just horrible. But I'm like, let's say like you want to be an editor. Like, let's say you want to be an editor, like you want to edit videos for people, right? Maybe that's one thing you could do. Find people who have videos and then you roast the intro, right? Like, okay, I would have done this better. I would have changed this and changed that. I would have made it this way, right? And then you do that. But, oh, wow, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Next thing you know, your inbox gonna be full of people like, you know what? Can you edit my video? Can you edit my video? Can you edit my video? Sometimes I truly don't understand. I really don't. Like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but sometimes I truly don't understand when people are writing up in the comments, I ain't got no job, I'm unemployed, I don't know how I'm gonna feed myself. I'm like, do you not see all these problems out here that need to be solved? Right? You don't see all these problems here. Hold on, y'all. Let me get up. Because this phone's about to die. Okay. I'm like, you really don't see. You really, really do not see all these problems over here that need to be solved. Right? A lot of people. Which one? Let me get the right cord. A lot of people have a lot of problems, right? All you got to do is solve problems for a few people. You're good to go. Right? But I'm like, if I was a graphic designer, and no way, I'll be sitting here. Yeah. Because I'm like, I feel like some people are broke by choice. I don't want to be offensive, but I do feel like some people, no, you're broke by choice. Like, you want somebody to give you like job security, an office, a contract, guaranteed pay. But I'm like, the world that we're heading into, unless you have some highly qualified skill, it's not looking like that. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a lot of people going to be contractors. Because many of these companies ain't trying to pay all this payroll because it's really, really expensive. So what you going to do, just sit there and die? Okay, no, you cannot. I have this one friend also, like, she's always telling me about how she has all these, like, complaining about her finances. But every time I tell her to post content, she has an excuse about it. Like, oh, well, I have to do this first. Oh, I got to have this first. Well, I got to have this first. I'm like, then I'm thinking, like, you must not really want the money. Yeah, maybe you don't know your potential, right? And I think sometimes also, like, people might be, like, embarrassed. Oh, I don't want people to see where I live. I don't want people to see my furniture. I don't want people. And I'm like, you swear, like, most Americans don't have the same furniture as you. Like, what? Like, what are we doing? Okay? I'm like, you swear that most people don't have the same furniture as you. Like, stop letting stuff get to your head. And I was like, okay, if you don't like your background, if you don't like the way the house is right now, you can just do it in your car. You can do it at the park. Right? You can even go, you can even do like, you can go to like a fancy store sometimes. I don't know, you can go to the mall. You can, if you really want to, you can find a nice decor that is not your house, but that looks nice for the time being. Right? But if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. I even feel like you can make great content in a toilet. Like you can go into your bathroom. You can even go to your toilet section, close the door, sit on the floor and make great content. Because great content sometimes, even though I do love editing, I love the whole music thing, but I do feel like great content is content that connects with people. Like if you're relatable, if people like what you say, right? If people connect with you, it's a wrap. The editing thing is nice, but first and foremost, it's a human connection. Like it's people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, but you can even sit in your closet. Maybe I'll start doing that so I can show people stop overthinking stuff, right? Exactly. You're doing too much. All right? But I'm like, some of y'all, you're not broke enough. Not only are you not broke enough, but you're really not sick and tired. Like you like this life. You like being oppressed. Like you do. You really do. You like this life where you're begging for a job. You like this life where you have to wait for somebody else to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to hire you. I'm going to give you a chance. Like, no, I give myself a chance. The heck? Like, what is this? Okay? You really love that. Because it don't make no sense to me. Like, it really does not make any sense to me. I'm like, you're a graphic designer, but you're waiting for a job? Like, what? You're waiting for clients? You're not about to go find these clients? Okay? No, they really do, Lonnie. I'm not trying to be mean. I am really not trying to be mean. But when I read his comment, I was really like, I was taken aback. I'm like, you have a whole degree in graphic design, and you want us to believe that you don't have money? Everything we do today involves graphic design. Like the shorts, the reels, the TikTok, right? The pictures, the posters, the Instagram reels, we use so many, we use a lot of graphics. Pictures, images, this and that. There's a lot of people who use motion graphics also. So I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm so confused. You're not going to sit your ass on this YouTube thing and start showing people, okay, like this is how you want to do topography. This is how you want to pick your colors. This is how you want to use Canva. One. Let me replicate this in Canva. Like maybe do stuff on Photoshop and then show people how to do the same thing on Canva. Like, I'm like, I have so many ideas. It's just me. So it's not easy. But I'm like, why are you broke? So I'm like, no, some of y'all, you love abuse. Like you love being abused. Like you really, really do. Like you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're really not. You are truly not. Right? I'm like, I promise you, let's say somebody's like, oh, Marlene, I'm strangled. I'm just drowning in debt. Right? Do you know if you can be shameless? And let me say this. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I'm not really crazy. I'm really sane. I'm actually really, really sane. Sometimes I wish that some people would have the shamelessness of OnlyFans model. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a video about that. But I really do wish that some people would have the shamelessness of OnlyFans model. You see, these girls out there, they're out there putting their boobs out there, their vaginas out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how shameless they are. Now, I don't believe that you should be a sex worker, but I do admire the shamelessness. Like, imagine if you have a person that is drowning in debt. And the person said, I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to show you my debt, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. Do you know how many people will start watching that video? Like, what the freak? Because a lot of people is in debt. A lot of people are in debt. It's not even a joke. So, yes, at first you might be like, oh, my gosh, I am so embarrassed. How did I get myself to this debt? But that's exactly what is going to make the content interesting, because everybody is looking at their debt. Like, what the freak? How did I get into this debt? You're not alone. And and the funny thing is, the part that is so funny, is that somebody is waiting for somebody to do it first. Somebody is waiting for somebody to be the first one to say, you know what, here's my debt. Right? And I promise you, once that person does that and goes viral, you're going to have a bunch of copycats. I kid you not. It's like in class, everybody has questions, but nobody wants to be the first person to raise their hands. Meanwhile, everybody has questions. The thing is, nobody wants to be like, oh, wow, I don't be the class idiot, right? But everybody's confused. It takes one brave person to ask a question, and everybody will start asking questions, because the whole time, everybody was confused. I've learned that, right? So it's like, if you have somebody who's like, oh, Marlene, I'm so broke right now, I got no job. Maybe that's why you should make the content. Because that right there, it actually is original content. You guys, I was an idiot. I wasted my money. I squandered my money. Now look at me. Yeah, you see this? Boom, boom. They're like, oh my gosh. And then you show people how you're trying to pay it off. And it's going to inspire them too. Because when you read that, like right now, credit cards are like, Americans owe like 1.5 trillion or something, like something crazy like that in credit card debt. Yeah, it's a lot of people. But like I said, people are waiting for one person to be brave enough to do it. Then everybody is going to start saying, like, you know what? I want to destroy my debt because they saw somebody else that's doing it. You understand? Maybe I'll do one too, because I do have a little bit of debt though, right? Maybe I'll do it too, because sometimes you have to show people like it's not a big deal. Like just like the guy who drove into people in New Orleans, right? Allegedly, they said the man like he had like over like $50,000 or $60,000 in debt. And I'm like, fam, a lot of places in America, I think Alabama, but outside of Alabama, a lot of places do not have debtors prison. So why are you doing all this? Right? If you owe the money, just go. If you really, really can't pay it, just go into bankruptcy. Why are you killing people? Because you owe money. You're not the first one to owe money, and you ain't gonna be the last one to owe money. And when it's all said and done, even if you owe 50,000, even if you owe 60,000, right? Let me tell you something. There are people out here who owe $1 million. That's why at some point I used to have a lot of love for Kanye, because Kanye was $50 million in debt. He didn't go hurt people. He didn't go try to puke people, right? Kanye found a way to pay his debt. Not just pay the debt, but come back with way more money. 60,000, yes, it can be jarring at times, but it's not the most amount of money that a person's ever owed. You can pay it off. You can either go into bankruptcy or you can pay off, like you can talk to your creditors and you might be able to pay like $2,000 a month, right? So in about like 4 years, boom, boom, that's it. You're not the first one to owe money, and you're not going to be the last person to owe money. You don't have to go kill people for that. You don't have to become so desperate that you want to take your life over 60,000, right? There was a day in the stock market, like I think Jeff Bezos, he lost like 90 million or he lost like 100 million, right? But look, he recovered, right? It happens in life. It happens. It happens that sometimes you fall behind on your finances. It's not the end all be all. And it's not a reason for you to go kill other people. You know what I mean? And it's not a reason for you to go kill people, kill yourself for what? For what? But you kill yourself because you fear going to prison. But what about God? You're going to have to meet God. So you're trying to evade prison by killing yourself. You have no idea what awaits you in the afterlife. You kill people and you kill yourself. So what if you die now and you go up there and you find them people, and because you killed those people, now you have to serve these people for eternity, right? Like, this is crazy to me. It's better to go to prison than to kill yourself after you kill people, because you have to meet God, and you're going to meet God before you even apologize for what you did. You're crazy. It's only 60,000. Even if it was 100,000, it's only 100,000. Okay, this is not a valid reason to go unalive people. There are people out here who have lost way more money. Look at Mike Tyson. He used to have all this money, lost the money, downsized for so long, and then recently he just got 20 million for a fake fight. And that's why I also love Mike Tyson. Like, that man is a real warrior. Like, I love people who are resilient. I love people who are not ashamed, and I love people who don't give up, right? Just because you lost 60, how do you know that 5 years from now, God was not going to have you make even $60,000 a month? You're like, wow, I remember that one time when I lost 60,000. Now I can't even believe I'm making $60,000 a month, right? It happens. Like, sometimes you fall. Like, and sometimes you fall hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. But is that a reason to say, oh, I'm going to kill myself? Nobody should kill themselves over money, right? Money, if your biggest issues are money, like, you don't have real problems. If your child has cancer, imagine that, right? If a man loses his wife after she just gave birth, like, there are real problems out there. There are problems that money cannot fix. But if your only problems are problems created by money, you're okay. Yeah, seriously, like, you're okay. It's just money. Like, come on, like, people want to get divorced. They start fighting, yelling. How is that going to bring more money? Like, you're acting so mediocre. Okay? It happens. And y'all know I love Trump. Trump, my boy, right? But Donald Trump, he filed bankruptcy 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 times. Did that stop this man from being president? Did it stop him from being a billionaire? Like, it's not the end all be all. But it's out of all the things you can have. If money is the only thing you're struggling with, you are so lucky. Like, you really are fortunate. What if your mother had cancer? How would you feel? What if your son had cancer or your daughter had cancer? Can you imagine how that make you feel? You want to turn into a whole killer over 60,000? That is not money. It is not money. There are people who are buying Birkin bags with that kind of stuff. So if somebody can use it to go shopping, obviously it's not a big deal, right? But I'm like, brother, like you won the military, like you're supposed to be a soldier. And look how weak you were mentally. Like it's so disappointing. You could have sat here on YouTube. You could have made videos, talked about your life, talk about your debt, talk about your problems. So many people would have had empathy for you. And one thing about American people, even though they are wasteful sometimes, but one thing about American people, when they feel like you're telling a genuine story, they're going to be like, oh, do a GoFundMe, do a GoFundMe. They're going to send you money, right? Like American people can be extremely generous. They're going to send you money on the freaking GoFundMe. They'll be like, oh, what's your PayPal? What's your Cash App? Womp, womp, womp. You know, that's American culture. They can be extremely supportive. You ain't got to kill nobody, right? If you take accountability, like, you know what, I got into debt, I didn't do this, or maybe I invested here, I made the wrong move, I'm telling you, a lot of people going to have mercy on you. A lot of people, if $5 here, $10, before you know, you might even get 20,000. Exactly. And they love soldiers. They love military people. You don't have to do this. Right? If you tell American people that you're suffering, if you tell the American people that you're a veteran, you went to war, and now you don't know how to pay your bills, when I tell you these people are going to go crazy on your GoFundMe, and then one person going to make a video, another person going to make a video, before you know it, it's going to go viral. Your GoFundMe going to go viral. Like, that's one thing about the American people. Like, they have an incredible spirit of generosity. They were trying to cancel this, the school, Mississippi. Like, they got the band. They're coming up to D.C. to perform. Initially, they wanted 11,000, but because they people like the liberals trying to cancel them and shame them, so many people make videos, and now they've raised like almost $250,000 in less than a week. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, that's it. You don't have to kill for money. Like, to me, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, right? You don't have to kill. Like, you sit here, you make the content. Yes, you're gonna be embarrassed, but guess what? If somebody can sell coochie on social media and they're not embarrassed, why are you embarrassed? Hello? Make it make sense, right? These girls are selling pictures of their feet. They selling all kinds of nastiness on the OnlyFans. They ain't got no shame about that. You got a girl out here, she's sleeping with 100 men in one day. She not ashamed. You owe money, you ashamed. Make it make sense. Okay? And sometimes it happens, like, when you're not familiar with making money, sometimes you make these bad investments. Even a lot of rich people today, they've made bad investments on the way to being rich. That's why they know how to make better investments now, because they've lost money. Even me, I've lost money too. Once upon a time, I was like, oh, my life is over. I'm going to die. Da, 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 da. Yo, I didn't die. I'm still here and I'm fine, right? Because it's just money. It goes, it comes back. It goes, it comes back. It's not fun. Yes, but it goes, it comes back, right? You don't have a reason to kill yourself. And you don't have a reason to divorce your husband, divorce your wife. You don't have a reason to try to kill other people over money. It is just money. It's just money. If you and your wife can sit down, talk about it, and forgive each other, y'all will pay this big. You guys are going to pay this debt down so quick, right? Imagine a couple, instead of, oh, we're going to go divorce. Oh, we're going to go get a lawyer and divorce because we're in debt. I want to divorce you, we're in debt. You go get a lawyer, I go get a lawyer. All that money y'all wasting on these lawyers, y'all could go buy a camera because obviously you have money. Okay? You guys have money. Instead of paying these lawyers, how about you go buy a camera? Buy a camera, buy a microphone so we can hear you argue better, okay? Get your nice iMac, whatever, start editing. And then show people, like, come on, you like, you know what? Me and my wife, we squandered money. We were like, she was crazy, I was crazy, but you know what? We don't want a divorce. We got in this mess. We're going to get out of this mess together. Do you know how many people will tune to your content? Do you know how many couples y'all going to deliver who are currently wanting a divorce because they have money issues? They're like, wow, you know what? They're right. Why are we fighting? When have you ever seen people fight and they got smarter? Like, I'm like, sometimes I get so confused. I'm like, when have you ever seen people fight, cuss, yell, scream, and somehow they're like, oh, you know what? Now that I cussed you out, I know how to farm the money. Oh, now that I cussed your ass out, oh, I know how to make more money. Oh, now that I'm threatening you, I know how to make more money. No, because when you start fighting, that's what the devil wants. And the more you fight, the more you're cussing, the more you're angry. What you're revealing is you have a scarcity mindset, right? When you work together, when you forgive and you work together and you show partnership, that's an abundance mindset. You know what? Two better than one. And because we made these financial mistakes, we're going to be so much better because of it, right? It would have been nice if it didn't happen, but it did happen. right? Y'all gonna let money make y'all divorce? Like, are y'all serious? It's just money ain't that deep. And maybe this is a great challenge to make your marriage even better, to make your friendship even better. You know, sometimes the things that bring people together is not always pretty. It's not always great situationships, right? Sometimes it's the ugly stuff that make people better. Like sometimes it's the challenges, the difficulty of the challenges that make you fall in love even more. Like, you know what? I can really trust you. Oh, you know what? I can really count on you because it was hard, but you didn't leave me. It was hard. You didn't walk away from me. It was hard. You didn't cuss my ass out. You weren't happy, but you took charge and we fixed it. God bless you for that. Make sense? Show people that. And show yourself that you and your wife and you and your husband, you people are capable of fixing these money problems, right? It's a challenge. Fix it as a family. That's what family's for. You know what I'm saying? You're yelling over here. He's yelling over here. Does that put money in your account? No, it doesn't. It does not. Right? But I'm like, you make the content and you say, okay, me and my wife got to some debt. It doesn't even matter who got the debt. It is what it is. But right now, we want to fix it. Here's how much I make. Here's how much she make. And this is how we're going to try. And if we try something and it doesn't work, maybe we'll try something else. Right? You understand? But I'm like, a year from now or 2 years from now, as you guys are paying down your debt, you're becoming friendlier towards each other. Like you're becoming nicer towards each other. Like, do you know how many couples out here you're going to set free? Like, wow, look at Jake and Sarah. Like, you know, look at Jake and Sarah, look at Jake and Sarah, look at Jake and Sarah, right? Because you'll show people this is what partnership is. You don't quit on people when it gets hard. And you definitely don't break your family apart over some money. Find a way to get this money back, right? And before you know it, you might, like, you know what? You might become better at editing. Okay, I'll do the edit, you do the recording. Or I'll do the edit, you do the thumbnail, right? Work as a team. But how do you know that in a year, God's not going to make a way that y'all pay all the stuff down, plus you have extra money? I don't know why people sometimes, they're so limited. Like, I don't know why people sometimes, like, when it comes to how things can get fixed, people have such, like, limiting beliefs. You have no idea how God can fix this problem for you. You have no idea. You don't know what he can and cannot do. So why do you want to end your life? Why do you want to end your life? Why do you want to hurt people? Why do you want to end your life? And what do you want to hurt people? Over money? You can't be serious. Right? Even they could say to you, oh, your child has cancer. You might be like, oh, I want to kill myself. But how do you know it's really cancer? It could have been a wrong diagnosis. You know what I mean? You can go back 2 weeks from now. You can even go back 6 months from now. I'm like, you know what? Oh my gosh, something is different. Like, what's different? Oh my gosh, it's completely gone. I wonder why. Look at God. Right? But a lot of people, I think sometimes, like, people are, I don't know if it's like lack of creativity or if it's lack of faith or if it's like a limiting set of beliefs. Sometimes I'm like, it kind of makes me sad that people don't know how powerful God is. Like, for real. Like, people don't know how powerful God is. And I think a lot of time people don't even know how, like, God, like, the answer is right in front of you. It's right there. It's nothing crazy. Oh, it has to be this. No, it's right there. Post the damn content and trust him. You can post a video today. You go to sleep, you wake up, the video has 5 million views. You don't even know. You don't even know. And you know, this is why, y'all, I gotta go like 8 minutes, right? But this is why I have learned obedience is like better than everything. Because sometimes you guys, you'll look at the answer, you'll be like, it looks too basic. Okay, like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. More than, I don't know. You know, I used to be that way too. Like, can it work? Because sometimes it just looks way too basic. Like, it just looks way too easy. Right? But that's exactly it. It ain't too hard. But we have these false paradigms sometimes where we feel like, oh, it has to be hard. It has to be strenuous. It has to be difficult. Not really. Right? A doctor could say you're gonna have cancer. You have cancer. You only have 2 weeks to live. Oh my God, I have cancer. Did you ask God if you really had cancer? Did you really ask God? Hey, God, by the way, can you confirm if I really have cancer? No. Then why are you crying? Make it make sense. You owe $20,000, or you owe $30,000, you owe $40,000, even you owe $50,000, right? Oh my gosh, my life is over. Oh, I'm going to die. Then God said you're gonna die. Did you, before you start doing all this panicking, being so dramatic, because I used to be that way too. I used to be so dramatic. I'm like, man, God has to be laughing at my ass. I was excessively dramatic. Like, girl, shut up. Okay? You're being dramatic. You're not being intelligent. And all this drama, theatrics you're doing, it's not impressing anybody. Oh my God, Nothing is over. It's just beginning. My point is, okay, you owe 20,000, 30, 50, 60,000. Okay, cool, no problem. Okay. Did you ever seriously ask the Lord in your lifetime how much you're going to make? Did you ever ask him? Because what if God told you before you die, you're going to be worth like $10 million? Would you keep crying about the 60,000? You'd be like, ooh, really? Ooh, tell me more. You understand? When you feel your heart or your mind trying to focus on something negative, I think you need to focus on something positive. Today you owe 20,000. But how do you know that in your lifetime, you're not going to get to a point where it's like you make like 20,000, 40,000, $50,000 a month? How do you know? Because you look at your current problems and you say, oh, this is it. All my life, I'm going to be in debt. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know where you'll be 3 years from now? You don't know shit. You don't know shit. So like once you realize that you don't know shit, then why are you panicking? I'm like, we really don't know shit. You can sit here today. I'm like, we see it all the time, but I think sometimes when it comes down to us, we stop believing. But my thing is, you see it all the time. People that used to have no money, look at Mr. Beast. He used to be in his room counting to 100,000, do all kinds of dumb shit, right? Now today, Jimmy makes like 50 million a year or like 50 million a month. I don't know. He makes all kinds of crazy money, right? On YouTube. You're like, what? And that's like, it's not even like in 7 years. That's his life. Because it was always his destiny. John, do you truly, if God shows you that you're going to die in squalor under a bridge somewhere, I can see why you're crying. Like, damn, that's fucked up. Okay? Of all the things God could have had in store for you, yeesh, damn. Okay? Bad karma, right? But if God hasn't shown you what your future really looks like, why are you crying? Like, seriously, why are you crying? You're wasting your tears. Like, you're just wasting my time. You're wasting your time and you're wasting my time. Because it could be that you're called to be a millionaire. So why are you crying? Okay, you owe money. Oh, you're uncomfortable. Okay, sure, whatever. But my thing is, how do you know that you, in your lifetime, you're not going to be super rich? How do you know? And not just that. Not only are you going to be rich, but how do you know that most of your friends are also not going to be rich people? You have no idea. Then why are you so sad? Like, how can you be, I don't know, that's just me. But I'm like, how can you be sad about something that is not going to last your entire life? Why are you sad? It's a waste of your fucking time. It's a waste of your time. It will make more sense for you to focus on how you're going to be that person. Because this right here, it already happened. But what about the person of tomorrow? What about the person 5 years from now? Right? And this is why many, many times in your life, you can't be this weak ass, crying ass, dramatic ass, theatrical ass person who's always crying. You're going to have to grow up and be a CEO. And when you're a CEO, you have a long-term vision. So in your long-term vision, if you say, oh, 5 years, 10 years from now, I can see myself out of debt. I can see myself financially stable. I can see myself there, then maybe we ain't got time to cry. Because books have to be read. Plans have to be written. Visions have to be written, right? And content has to be made. Because 5 years from now, you about to meet the best, I mean, not the best, but one of the best version of yourself. It's just 5 years. 5 years, you'll see, it'll be so quick. You'll see Maverick over here running, talking like, oh my gosh, Maverick, you remember when you were on the live, right? 5 years. Stefan is like, I'm like, Stefan, this is like your decade because this July, he'll be 10. I'm like, you've already been here for 10 years? Time, it flies. Time flies. You'll cry for things today. 5 years from now, you're not even going to remember those things. So why are you crying? It's a waste of your time. It is a literal waste of your time. 2025, I don't want you to cry. There is no reason. Did somebody die? No. Do you have cancer? No. Why are you crying? There is no reason to cry. 2025, a problem presents itself before you. Even if you feel like it's overwhelming you, be like, 1 minute. Let me go talk to God real quick. God, I don't want to be overwhelmed. Okay? I promise you, when you're done praying like that, you'll go back and see that problem like, okay, I got what it takes. There's a real child of God in you, okay? It's the God in me, okay? There's a real child of God in you. In 2025, let nothing at all overwhelm you, okay? Let nothing overwhelm you. Like, this is crazy, right? If it came before me, I got what it takes. Because nothing will break my spirit. Nothing will break my soul. And most importantly, I'm not crying. Why would I cry? The devil? No. Crying does not fix problems. Crying does not bring solutions. Crying does not bring ideas. Crying is a waste of time. And then when you cry, you have a headache. You have sinuses. You're like, your face is ugly. You have wrinkles. It's just not for me. You have no reason to cry. 2025, you apply for a job, but at the same time, you create your own job where you can get to a point where like you have options like, do I want to work for them or do I want to keep doing what I do, right? You are a creator of options. You create options for yourself. You don't sit here and wait for somebody to give you a job, somebody to hire you, somebody to put you on. No, thank you. I'm giving you way too much power, right? Because it is your life, it's your talent, it's your time, right? So you are fully in control of that. Right? Don't ever feel like it's somebody holding a piece of bread from you. Oh, they're holding money from me. Oh, they're holding a check from me. No, you're holding everything from you. That's it. That's that. Nobody owes you anything, but you owe yourself everything. You pick one thing, whether it's money, whether it's debt, whether it's motivation, whether it's becoming an editor, whether it's like graphic arts. I don't care. You pick one thing, and every day you wake up, find a video on YouTube that talks about that. Do it every day. You wake up every day, listen to that. Watch it, apply it, right? By the time we get to December 2025, you're like, wow, I picked up a whole new set by just going to YouTube University, right? You have no reason to sit here, mope, because every day you wake up, you can pick up a new you can pick up a new skill, a new talent. Every day you wake up, you can learn you can learn Notion. You can learn Adobe Premiere. You can learn Adobe After Effects. You can learn DaVinci Resolve. You can learn Canva. You can learn CapCut. You can learn this. There's always something to learn. There's always something to learn. Why are you crying? Okay? There's always something to learn. Why do you want to give up on life? There's always something to learn. Why do you believe it's over you? There is always something to learn. You wake up every day and you decide to learn something new, right? You wake up every day, you decide to learn something new, and then you share what you've learned. I don't see why you're not going to make a lot of money. I don't see why you're not going to make extra income, right? You understand? There's money all around you. Just open your eyes. There's money all around you. Open your creativity. And the best way to do that is rebuke stress, rebuke anxiety, rebuke low self-esteem, like rebuke all your limiting beliefs, right? And it's like, God, open my mind. God, open my heart. God, let me see things I don't see. God, let me see where the money is. God, let me see where the money resides, right? And your whole mindset is going to change because there is money all around you. I kid you not. There's money all around us because people have too many problems. And all you have to do is fix a few problems and you're good to go. Amen? All right? So with that being said, most likely tomorrow I will be outside. We'll do skincare. What are we doing? Yeah. We'll do skincare and talk about a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm gonna start like even this year I'm like, okay, I gotta be specific. Maybe nighttime because during the day I gotta edit my other stuff. Okay, for me, right? But I'm gonna try to do like maybe like from 7:30 until like 9:30-ish. I will try to go live like maybe almost like every day. I'll try. That is my challenge, but maybe I'll do it for January, see how it goes. Come live like every night, see how that goes most nights, and do skincare and conversations, right? Because consistency is where it's at. I'm really going to try my hardest to be extremely consistent, especially with the channel. But I'm like, you see how much this person is making, that person is making. Like, yo, why am I crying? There is money out there. I just got to know how to get it. But the best way to get money, especially on social media, is consistency, right? So don't be sad. Don't be worried. Post the damn content. And watch a lot of YouTube videos about, okay, how to make a better content, make better this, make better that, right? Do not be afraid. There is nothing for you to fear. You hear me? All right. So I love y'all. And with that being said, Marie's going. I gotta go do something real quick, but I love y'all. Okay. 2025, it is your year for real. People usually say that, but make it happen for real, right? Make it happen. Even if it's like a faceless channel, I don't care, right? You gotta have multiple streams of income. Like you have to. And it starts with $100. Then it's $500. Then it's $1,000, right? And then it just keeps growing like that. But never, that's my biggest mistake, and I learned that because I was extremely prideful. I didn't realize it was pride back then, but when I was making my skincare videos and they were only getting $1, $2, I'm like, what am I going to do with that? Okay? Now I'm like, you know what? It is what it is, right? Never despise small beginnings because it takes $1 to get $5, okay? And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But everything you get, be grateful. All right? So for that too, God forgive me, but you live, you learn. I was a lot younger, but you know, a video that was only making $3 at one point, lifetime value, it don't make like 12,000, right? So just because it starts small today doesn't mean that a year from now, you're like, damn, that's the video that used to make me $3. That is crazy. That is crazy, right? So do not be afraid of content creation in 2025. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. And don't ever be afraid to quote unquote look foolish, look crazy, or embarrass yourself. Because I promise you, you are not the only person that is going through this. You are not the only person. Like, see, I showed my bed. Like, no, I'm not getting rid of my bed. They're going to come yank that out of me, right? But I was like, okay, if I ever also buy my dream house, I can put that in the basement also. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, why do I throw in my bed, though? So, no, right? But never, ever, ever give up. Never, ever, ever let money overwhelm you, that you want to hurt yourself, hurt other people, hurt your children, divorce your husband, divorce your wife. It is just money. The same way you got into that debt, you can also get out of that debt, right? And you can also never have debt again. It happens. You know, it's not cool when it does happen, but it happens, right? Just don't focus on how it happened. Focus on getting the F out of this debt. That's it, right? That got to be your mindset. Everything positive got to be your mindset. Everything solution-driven has to be your mindset. Everything empowering got to be your mindset, right? Everything creative has to be your mindset. Identify as a problem solver, not as a complainer. You are like, I show up, I solve problems. I don't cry, right? I show up, I solve problems. I show up, God gives me a vision, and I do what I'm supposed to do. You understand? But it's like you have no idea who you're going to be 5 years from now. You don't even know who you'll be even like 2 years from now. So why the heck are you crying? And why the heck are you depressed? Like all this stuff, we're going to stop this stuff. I could tell you, I can't even recall the last time I had seasonal depression, because I have decided to never, ever have depression again. So help me God. I don't want that stuff, right? It's weak as fuck. And it just makes you waste all kinds of time. You have no reason to be depressed, okay? You have every reason to be encouraged. See your future and see it's super bright. It's going to motivate you, okay? Love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Bisous. Gotta go. She's tired. I'll be outside tomorrow, okay?